Beautiful Insanity of the Souls. Chapter 21. Kill Bill 3. Part 6. Adrian continues to tell Kate a story. Adrian, I think I might have gotten some of the idea from the new movie Sicario starring Emily Blunt, Josh Brolin, and Benicio del Toro. I just kept hearing Josh Brolin voice in my head when I create Richard now. I think Christian Bale might pull it off flawlessly. He'll give the character, Richard, dimensions and edge as good as Josh Brolin. We will give Josh a major role like the head of CIA. I might write it if I have free time. Anyway, I was a little bit disappointed by the ending of Sicario. They break one of the cardinal rules of film. A hero is not supposed to kill a woman and children in cold blood out of revenge regardless of what happens. It sounds cool when Verbal Kent talks about Kaiser Soze in The Usual Suspect, how he killed the Hungarian gangsters, their wife and children. But you don't want the image in your head. Besides, Kaiser Soze killed his own wife and children and gives him some kind of ground. I know revenge is one of the strongest motives in films. But at the same time, you are making it to the general audiences. Sometimes, you make them for yourself. They should have two alternative endings and show both to the audience after the credit. Alejandro played by Benicio should just shoot the motherfucker between his eyes and walk away without killing the wife and the children, because he is the hero. Heroes take pains with them deep in their heart and tell stories that stays with audiences for a while. They don't take it out on women and kids. Karen in Goodfellas would say it makes no sense. Yet, it's a film. It's not supposed to make any sense. There is no rule whatsoever. You have to be different in order to get audiences' attention. John Doe says in Seven wanting people to listen, you can't just tap them on the shoulder anymore. You have to hit them with a sledgehammer, and then you'll notice you've got their strict attention. If you have to eat liver with fava beans and a nice Chianti when a census taker tries to test you like Dr. Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lamb, or stab a woman in a shower like Norman Bates in Psycho, or keep your friends close and your enemies closer like Michael Corleone in Godfather Part 2, or crash a woman with a sculpture like Alex DeLarge in Clockwork Orange, or you are capable of anything at the right time and place like Noah Cross in Chinatown, or rob bank like Clyde Barrow and Bonnie Parker in Bonnie and Clyde, or place a poison in an apple and give it to the fairest them of all like the Queen in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, or have your husband strangled to death in a car while you're honking the horn like Phyllis Dietrichson in Double Indemnity, or tell a girl, who reminds you Dorothy, you'll will get her and the little bitch too like the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz, or travel back in time kill all Sarah Connor like Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Terminator. And in your way cut Lil Z's throat in The City of God just right after he was born, or think it makes no difference if you are a cop or criminal when you face a loaded gun like Frank Costello in The Departed, as long as you have stories to tell, you are safe. A little voice in my head is saying, you forgot Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I have never seen it. I only watched the trailer. I can't talk about her. It is telling me I know you didn't see it. I was just messing with you. But it doesn't mean they have to ruin it for the rest of us either. I understand Lil Z is a baster, but I know you have a mixed feeling about good versus evil, despite the fact there will be no star in the Cosmos thing that you just said earlier. I am still trying to make the image of Cosmos without stars. I might have lost it a little bit. It says, just never mind, you don't have to take side. Quoting/imitating Tony Montana played Al Pacino in Scarface, you think I kill 2 kids and a woman? Fuck that. I don't need that shit in my life. You die, motherfucker. He shoots the assassin in the head. I told you, don't fuck with me. I told you, no fucking kids. No, but you wouldn't listen. Well, you stupid fuck. I have nothing to say. The little voice continues, what about Scarface? I know you talked about earlier. The motherfucker is bad. People wear Tony Montana shirts to these days. Suppose if he blew up the car and kill a woman and 2 children. Would they still wear shirts that has his images? I doubt it. But don't feel bad. Those people who wear shirts that have Tony Montana don't know Pacino played Satan in The Devil Advocate next to your favorite girl Charlize Theron. Let me give him the benefit of the doubt and move on. Actually, I would have left it alone. I ran into Benicio long time ago. I respects his works, The Usual Suspects, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Snatch, Sin City and others. He won Oscar for Traffic. But the truth is I didn't know any soul when I got here in LA. First day, I pumped into Benicio del Toro in the street while I am still carrying my bag. I gave him a complete script, the first screenplay that I ever wrote while I was obsessed with Scarlett Johansson. There is a poem on the first page, which take places in the bathtub. Desiree played by Scarlett Johansson resting on the protagonist's chest, Mickey. He recites the poem seductively down by her neck while planting soft kisses on her shoulder. I hear birds sing, I see flowers pleasantly blossom, a rose petal floating on a stream, a teardrop in my belly and snowflakes in my dream, tulips and golden leaves, scarlet velvet and peach skies. I have rested on green grasses, dancing with stars, while chasing butterflies. I have watched rivers, lakes, oceans, seas, things in their finest appearances. In my heart, I have been. In Paris, I have been in Florence, I have been around the world, searching for the meaning of romance, and as beautiful as your sexy eyes, light my soul in concupiscence, and your spellbinding lips in appetence, in the dictionary of love, without hindrance, without resistance, without obedience, you are the definition of my very existence. Benicio read it and said, Romantico. I figured it means romantic in Latin. I knew he won Academy Award for something. But I had no clue who he was really. Later, I looked at his profile in the computer. Wikipedia wasn't big 8 years ago. Maybe it was. I don't know. I had to click randomly. There was an article that said he had sex with Scarlett Johansson in the elevator. I thought Mother Nature was playing tricks on my head as usual. What was the odd? Then again, I could have run into anyone that she had dated. Maybe it was coincidence. It didn't matter. It could be a rumor as well. I didn't really care. I continued to write Scarlett as my leading lady. However, I didn't know she was arrestingly the most irresistible creature in the solar system. You can start a conversation with her anytime anywhere without her present, as if she were part of your respiratory system. Not only is she the manifestation of true love, but she's also niacin, an essential ingredient in your heart intended to make you fall head over heels in love. And phenomenon of which her lips are the ways of redeeming sins, resurrection, amending the indiscretion in our stars and attaining eternal salvation. You feel her present at the core of your soul. And might dream your entire life away if you are not careful. But that's a different story. Anyway, Sicario is okay. However, Hateful Eight and Mad Max make it up for the year. Let me be fair. I haven't seen a lot films in 2015. But I think Jennifer Jason Leigh gave one of the best performances of the past 5 years. Elizabeth might be too young to play Maria. Instead, Emma might want to keep the role. I might work on it if I get a chance. I just put it together now. Nevertheless, it will be completely edited from Kill Jr. We just need a minute 3. We will use a fake story. Elizabeth and Leonardo exchange few dialogue. Junior takes the director chair and gives them instruction. Junior tells Elizabeth, I like old Chinese kung fu films. A man walks in the street minding of his business. Another man comes out of nowhere and stands in his way. He asks him, where you going? The man says, just walking. The other man says, you must fight me. He asks him why. The man responds, I don't like you. He just attacks him for no reason and they go at it with breathtaking martial art. I want to make a movie like that. A girl comes to supermarket. Another girl asks her, what are you doing here? The girl tells her, I am shopping. The other girl says, what are you buying? She tells her, none of your fucking business, bitch, and bunches her on the nose. They go at it with crazy martial art. That is supposed to be a joke. But wait a second. Something is bothering me. There is a song called Alejandro by Lady Gaga. It sounds similar to La Isla Bonita by Madonna. Benicio played Alejandro and had a cameo in the music video of La Isla Bonita sitting on a car. I always wanted to write Lady Gaga a music video. I left it open in the MTV section. I was trying to figure her out and all. I think it's time to make something happen. It is a kismet. I can't believe myself saying a hero is not supposed to kill women and children in cold blood out of revenge, taking pain and all. It must be the little voice in my head to buy me time. I sounded like Jesus Christ, turn your other cheek. Nothing is wrong with that. You just have to keep it to yourself. You can't never give yourself away like that. You say nothing and learn from their mistake. Sometimes, you can even use their error to your benefit. It might not fit on their films. But it could work on your story like charm. Like Once Upon a Time in the West. He kills kids right and left. But he is a bad guy. He dies in the end. Regardless, I knew something was coming. I just got this weird tinkling feeling in the back of my brain. I am not saying I am going to kill a woman and kids, but there are hidden message behind chaos. You have to make all option available as a writer. I keep visioning something salacious. You know, I am leaving my comfort zone, hacking into Quentin's mind, cutting beautiful girls' faces and talking about cocaine and drug war. Let me soften my brain just a little bit. I don't know where I am heading with the story. But I have this idea in the back of my head based on Stranger in a Train. Let me use Emma and change back to Lady Gaga. Emma starred in Birdman, directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu. The name Alejandro keeps coming. The truth is, she brings the best in me. We begin the story with Emma standing in bridal gown. She just runs away from her wedding ceremony in tear and come to a graveyard. Her hair is blonde. We then introduce to Emilia, played by Emma as well, in black weird morning dress and black hat that has net. She looks strangely beautiful, seductive and erotic, but corrupted as the little voice in Jesus Christ's head. She is in the middle of attending of a funeral of her cat. It's raining. But that doesn't bother her at all. Yet, she is crying like a little girl. Her tears are black. Her hair is black hair. Emma sees her. She feels her pain, approaches her and stands next to Amelia in the rain. Amelia gives her hand to hold on. Emma takes her hand. The backgrounds changes and we find them in the church walking down the alias toward the sculpture of Christ on the cross at the chapel conversing, but we don't hear what they are saying due to a song by Lady Gaga. Amelia asks Emma what happened. She tells her husband had sex with the bridesmaid. We see it in quick flashback. Jim has sex with a girl named Lola in the ladies' bathroom after they say I dose. Emma comes to ladies' room and sees Jim as he exits the men restroom. He forgets to zip his pant. Emma thinks it's weird. Instead she enters the men restroom and looks at Lola standing in the corner and smoking cigarette. Emma then sees a red underwear inside the sink. Lola walks up to Emma and gives her the cigarette. Emma takes it instinctively. Lola tells her not to take it personal and exits the restroom. Emma looks at her image in the mirror. She smiles softly. It is a sad alluring smile. Her eyes are filled with tears in a heartbeat. She blinks her eyes. Tears falls down by her cheeks. We return to Emma and Amelia at the funeral. It's Amelia's turn to tell Emma what is bothering her. We look at it in flashback. Charlotte, Amelia's stepmother, poisoned her cat. We then find Emma and Amelia inside a church standing at the chapel next to the sculpture of Jesus Christ. Amelia looks at the sculpture. She then asks Emma if she wants to swap murders. She'll kill her husband for her if she agrees to kill her stepmother. That way, the cops find no motive and nobody would suspect them. Amelia envisions how she's going to carry out the murder. Amelia and Jim are having sex. She is on top ridding him, cowgirl style. Out of nowhere she produces a knife and stabs John in the neck multiple times like Catherine Termil in Basic Instinct. It's a demonstration. It didn't happen. Emma visualizes how she is going to kill Amelia's stepmother as well. She places poison in a tea, brings it to Charlotte who is sitting at coffee table. She puts sugar in the tea and give her the cup. Charlotte drinks it, falls asleep and dies. It's not going to be easy like that. It is to show the audiences what is in her mind. They are not speaking. It's a music video. Lady Gaga continues to sing. Since Emma is playing Lady Gaga, she is the one who is singing. Amelia tells her she can't wait to do it. However, Emma is not sure. She just walks down the alias rapidly and leaves the cathedral. Amelia then looks at the sculpture of Christ. It is no longer a sculpture. It is a real human being in flesh and blood. She touches the blood from Christ's feet that are nailed to the cross with her index finger as if she is dipping her hand into a honey, looks at his eyes and sucks her finger seductively. She comes to the holy water in the pool and touches it. The water catches on fire. Later, Emma is a model. She is lying nude in a professional photo studio. A man named Tony applies a broken glasses on her body with glue. It's supposed to be a cloth to cover her breasts and private part. But it is a little bit scary. We see everything. She promises us bloody sadomasochistic sex or something. Her husband Jim, who is a professional photographer, takes her pictures. In the meantime, Emma, Lady Gaga, continues to sing melodiously. We cut to Emma as she continues to pose suggestively. There are a couple of roses glued on her body. It looks rousing. Jim continues to take her photos. In montage, Emma continues to pose sexually. They put all kinds of things on her body including cigarette while they are still burning, dollar bills that are set on fire dexterously. If they make a mistake, she will be burnt alive. They paint her certain part of her body with fluorescence colors that glows in the dark, etc. Jim continued to take her pictures. She then lies naked covering the entrance of her private part with a line of cocaine. A male model sits next to her with a rolled $100 bill pretending to be snoring the cocaine. Jim continues to take pictures of Emma. We might have to edit that part. It would be available on DVD, the director cut. Instead Emma lies on a big wedding cake the size of a bed matters wearing extremely suggestive wedding gown that reveals her breasts and private part. As a matter of fact, it barely covers her body. If it weren't for the veil she is wearing on her head and wedding flowers that she is holding, we wouldn't have known it's a wedding dress. It looks like linger. Small candle light is inserted in her vagina. There are waxes from the candle on her private part as well. Jim takes more pictures. In the meantime, Emma, Lady Gaga's voice, continues to sing. We cut to Emma doing nude body painting on the floor. Her body is covered with various inks. She is rolling on flat painting blanket while dancing. Jim continues to photographs her. We cut to Emma's art gallery. Emma stands next to her painting wearing a beautiful dress. Jim photographs her. We then comes to Amelia. She is an actress. We are in a film studio somewhere in Hollywood at the set of her latest movie, The Princess of Darkness. It's musical. She is wearing suggestive black dress that shows her skin. She has black wings on her back. She is walking toward God's throne at heaven. It seems the Princess of Darkness and her lascivious demons have taken over the kingdom of God. Yet, we see the angels, white wings and white outfits, and demons, people in erotic outfits and black suggestive clothes, making out right and left and sadomasochistic. Amelia, Lady Gaga's voice, is singing. She then approaches by a good-looking man. He is supposed to be Jesus Christ with crown of thorn around his head. The man gives her French kiss. We then cut to, in the set of Fatal Appeal. Amelia is walking nude toward the direction of the camera. She is holding a knife. It's a palace. She then comes to the main bedroom. We sees a girl making love to a man. Amelia approaches them without making a sound and stabs the girl in the neck. The girl falls on the man. He is covered by her blood. Amelia sits on him and rides him in sexual intercourse. We cut to Amelia's third movie, To Die and Kill For. She is addressing news at CNN headquarters. Meanwhile, we see the video of Amelia in a courtroom sitting in the witness box on television screens at the news studio. We come to the courtroom. She is in the middle of testifying. In flashback, Amelia is married to a man named John. She has breakfast with him, excuses him, gets up and leaves. Cut to Amelia as she drives in the street of Los Angeles in her convertible. She then comes to James's house and parks her car in front of his cabin. She gets out of the car, walks toward the house while stripping her clothes one by one and throwing them away. Amelia enters the house without knocking. She doesn't need to. The door is left open. James is sleeping on the mattress in the living room. Amelia removes her underwear and comes to the living room nude. She then slowly comes to James, peels the blanket and gets in the bed with him. He is not wearing anything. He opens his eyes and looks at her. He is happy to see her. James cuddles her as if she is the missing beat of his heart. They kiss intimately for long seconds and begin to make love. Wait a second. I forget Amelia is supposed to be a bad girl. She can still be romantic and wicked. They sit in the bathtub. Amelia tells him she asks him to kill her husband. He agrees to do it. They kiss more intimately. We cut to James at Amelia's house. He is carrying a gun. Amelia is address news in the television. John sits at a table in the living room working on his laptop. He then sees James standing in front of him with a gun. James fires in his belly and kills him. He then drops the gun and comes to the television. Amelia strips her clothes and does a nude weather show. James removes all of his clothes and begins to masturbate looking at her in the television. Outside, hundreds of LAPD cars comes and swarm the place. They point the gun at the house. James continues to masturbate while looking at Emma inside the television. We cut to at Amelia's fourth movie, Mrs. Frankenstein. Amelia is a stripper. She dances on the stage. A man named Elias watches her obsessively. We cut to Amelia sitting in front of a mirror at the dressing room. She opens the drawer. There is a gun and mask. We cut to Vincent. He is Amelia's boss. He is counting a lot of money. Amelia comes to the office with a pistol, points the gun at him and asks him to give her the money. But Vincent reaches for his gun. Amelia shoots and kills him. Amelia places the money in a tennis bag, comes to her convertible, puts the bag in the passenger seat, gets behind the wheel and drives away. We cut to Emma. She drives in the street of Los Angeles singing, Lady Gaga's voice. Hundreds of cops waits for her carrying machine guns and they have already blocked the road. She stops the car in the middle of the street. They arrest her. The judge sentences her to death. They put her in the death row. They then executes her by electrocute shock. They bury her body. Elias is the only person at the funeral. He is sad. He places a rose on her grave and walks away. Later, he comes to the grave in the middle of the night with a shovel. It's raining. He digs the dirt, opens her coffin, carries her to his car, and drives to his house. Elias puts her on a medical table nude. He cuts her skin, removes her damaged organs and replaces them with organs he has kept in the refrigerator and sew it back. He then jump-start her heart with defibrillator. Elias brings back to life form dead. Amelia gets up from the medical bed. They kiss French. He removes his clothes and they make love. We cut to Amelia's fifth film. She plays a detective. She investigates a murder of a girl. The victim looks like her. It's not a movie. It's a nightmare. Amelia walks up in the middle of the night, gets up from her bed and looks at her image in the mirror. She then comes to the living room, grabs a whiskey from her private bar and pours the liquor in glass. Amelia takes a sip. At the dining room, Charlotte, her stepmother, sits in the dark drinking whiskey as well while smoking cigarette. She is quite attractive woman. She looks like Jennifer Connelly. Amelia sees her. Charlotte gets up, walks to Amelia, caresses her face and says you are beautiful. Runs her fingers, you have soft lips, have to kill me before I kill you. She kisses her lips softly and goes to upstairs to sleep. Amelia drinks everything in one breath and walks to the direction of the camera. Amelia drives in the streets of Los Angeles. She then comes to Jim's studio in Malibu and seduces Jim to take her pictures. This is not film. It's real. He photographs her. She removes her cloth one by one. He continues to take her picture. Amelia approaches him. She takes the camera from his hand and kisses him. He pulls her hair and kisses her passionately. He then bends her, puts her against the table and enters her behind as they begin to have sex. In the meantime, Emma is shopping at a mall. She puts all kinds of beautiful dresses in serious cuts as Amelia and Jack make love on in the studio. The clerk named Sarah sees her. She likes Emma's sense of style. Then out of nowhere comes a man named Edward and walks into the dressing room. He is Emma's lover. She is excited to see him. They kiss passionately for long seconds as if their lips and tongues made from tulips. They make love in the dressing room. At the studio, Amelia and Jack continue to make love. She then ties his hands against the bed frame with custom-made chain and rides him cowgirl style. Out of nowhere Amelia produces a plastic bag that is designed to kill a person in suffocation and puts it Jack's head. It's automatic. He can't breathe. Amelia continue to ride him while he is dying in suffocation. Jack takes his last breath. Amelia reaches orgasm and lies next to his dead body. She grabs a cigarette, lights and smokes it at the screen as we look at her with overhead shot. We then pulls out of the house. The police comes to the studio and collects evidence. A detective named Jacob questions Emma. They take her downtown and ask her few more questions. She has an alibi. A clerk named Sarah. She had seen her at a shopping mall buying dresses. The cops let her go. Later, Emma lies nude on the bed. Edward records her with his video camera. He is naked as well, asking her a couple of questions like American Beauty, except Emma is not covered with blanket. Edward puts his camera aside and goes to the kitchen to make sandwich. Out of nowhere comes Amelia at the bedroom. She grabs the camera from the table and records Emma, who is not surprised to her. Emma plays along acting like a film star. Amelia gets closer and kisses Emma. They kiss intimately. Wait a second. Something is eating my brain. It is a little bit confusing. Let's bring Scarlett into the mix. She plays Amelia, a female fatale. Emma lets Amelia take control. Amelia kisses Emma, slips her lips seductively and tells her if she doesn't do it, she will turn her to the police. They kiss French. Amelia reminds Emma she has to kill her stepmother. Amelia climbs on the bed, they kiss more intimately and begin to make love. If it's based on the film, Emma won't commit the crime. If it's based on the novel, Emma might have to kill the stepmother. Let's just go with the flow and see where it leads. In fact, let's make it an hour surrealistic film, short, starring Emma and Scarlett. I might go back and fix few things if I decide to make it a feature film. I'll write Lady Gaga a beautiful music video. Later, Emma comes to Amelia's house to kill the stepmother pretended to be a maid. She is wearing a French maiden outfit. She gets the job through Amelia. She hired her. Emma places poison in a coffee, brings it to the living room and places it on a table to take it upstairs. She then sees a young good-looking man named Kevin. He is Amelia's step-brother. Charlotte is his mother. It's instant attraction. She is spellbound by him and has forgotten about the drink on the table. Kevin picks it up the drink. When he's about to drink the coffee, Emma tells him not to drink it. The coffee is for Charlotte. Kevin says Mom just took my car. She went to a supermarket to buy groceries. When he is about to drink it, she holds his arm and tells him she forgets to place sugar in the coffee and takes the coffee from his hand. Kevin tells her he doesn't need sugar and takes the coffee back from her hand. Emma tells him to wait. She has surprise for him. He looks at her eyes for long seconds. She slowly takes the coffee from his hands, takes a lollipop from her pocket, sucks it, places the candy in the coffee and begins to stir it without taking her eyes from him. When Kevin is about to take the coffee from her hand, she drops it on the floor in purpose. The cup breaks into pieces. Kevin gets closer and kisses her lips. She kisses him as well. They kiss more seductively. He picks her up and places her on the dinner table, slowly unbutton her dress and kisses her breasts. He then removes her underwear. They kiss more and begin to make love. Kevin picks her up and takes her to the bedroom, climbing the staircase. We cut to Emma and Kevin as they continue to make love in the bedroom. We stay with them with series cuts. We then find them inside the bathtub like Julia Roberts and Richard Gere in Pretty Woman. She is behind. He is resting on her chest. They are conversing between soft kisses. Amelia comes to the living room and sees the broken cup and heads to upstairs. Emma and Kevin are kissing. Amelia walks into the bathroom. They see her. She says hi, removes her underwear, throws it at Kevin, takes a leak and sits nearby. She asks Kevin if Amelia is his new girlfriend. She puts her hand inside the water and plays with his private part. He says nothing. She tells Emma we are not technically sister and brother. His mother fucked my father, so did we. She gets inside the bath with her clothes and kisses Kevin. He doesn't resist. Amelia then kisses Emma. They kiss more intimately in threesome. Later, Emma and Amelia sit at a terrace of a luxurious restaurant and hotel in Beverly Hills. I might have to change few things. I used the plastic bag for music video, so it looks sexy. We might have to use a real weapon like gun. Amelia shows Emma a small gun in a plastic bag. Amelia actually shot Jack and killed him. She tells Emma she has her fingerprint on the murder weapon. In flashback, we see Emma and Amelia sitting at the same restaurant in the terrace. Amelia takes out the same small gun from her purse and shows Emma the gun. She is wearing gloves. Emma thinks it's a cute gun. Amelia gives Emma the gun. She takes the gun and looks at it, leaving her fingerprint on the weapon without her knowledge. We might have to edit suffocation murder scene completely and use it for her movie that is making in the film. Let's watch it in flashback again to get rid of the confusion. Amelia shoots Jack in the heart with her small gun that has Emma's fingerprint and walks away. We returns from the flashback. Amelia tells Emma she will give the evidence to the cops if she doesn't kill her stepmother. She also promises her to give her $100 million. It is gratitude. Emma can't do it. She is in love with Kevin. Amelia tells her Kevin is into her. He is her lover. Amelia lets him fuck whoever he wants to fuck. Kevin lets her have sex with whomever she pleases. And neither to count on Kevin to love her, nor to promise her a fairy tale that ends with they live happily ever after. That's not going to happen, because Emma is looking at life behind bars if she is found guilty. All Amelia have to do is mail the gun to the cops. Emma just gets up, leaves the restaurant, gets her convertible, drives the streets of Los Angeles and comes to Edward. She asks him to kill Charlotte or she might go to prison. He says she doesn't know what she is talking about. Emma tells him Amelia kills Jack and wants to exchange murder. She has evidence that might incriminate Emma. Edward tells her why not kill Amelia herself and keep things in perspective. Emma tells him Amelia agrees to pay her $100 million. Edward come to an agreement to kill Charlotte. Edward comes at night with a gun, fire at the new maiden by accident and kills her. Out of nowhere comes Charlotte, shoots and kills Edward. Amelia is at a Hollywood movie premiere party. James is there as well. Amelia approaches him. She tells him I dreamed about you last night. They exchange soft kisses. James asks her sarcastically, aren't we supposed to be brother and sister? Amelia says, I want to marry you. I want your child in my belly and feel the kick. They exchange soft kisses. He tells her it won't happen as long as my mother is alive. I can't marry you. He gives her soft kiss, she will not approve it. She asks him, are you concerning about the will? What's it, $35 billion? Is that how much love cost to you? He tells her humorously, I am not perfect. He gives her soft kiss. Amelia says, I hope that bitch burn in hell. I don't want a single penny from her. He asks her, so why do you wish she were dead? She tells him, I am in love with you. They kiss intimately. They drive home. The place is surrounded by cops. They enter the house. Detective Jacob asks Amelia and James a couple of questions. A detective named Sarah is questioning Charlotte. She tells her she killed him in self-defense. Amelia tells James she was with James and has never seen Edward before. Emma poses for a photographer named Vincent. It's for the cover of Vogue. Vincent tells her to take a short break. Out of nowhere comes Amelia, approaches Emma and confronts her, you were supposed to do it instead of sending your stupid boyfriend. You have to finish what you started. Or you will spend the rest of your life in prison. Amelia says she will double it, $200 million, kisses her lips French and walks away. A model named Charles who overheard the conversation approaches Emma and says billion is a new million. Don't settle for less, whatever it's. He is a good-looking man. Emma is attracted to him. She asks him, why did you hear? He tells her, I heard nothing. Emma knows he is lying and asks him if he wants to talk about it over dinner. He tells her it is a date. They sit at a strip club and talk about it. She tells him everything and asks him, would you kill her for me? They will spill $200 50-50. He tells her, I'll kill her for free just to see the expression of her face change. He kisses her lips. We cut to Emma's house. Emma and Charles come to living room kissing fanatically, strip each other clothes like a madwoman and a mental patient and make love on the floor kissing and biting. Emma gets on top of Charlie and rides him seductively. Charlie then gets her on the bottom, put her left leg on his shoulder and enters her. They switch position. She gets back on top and rides him, cowgirl style, fanatically. They both reached climax. Emma lies on his chest. She is out of breath. Kill Bill 3, Part 7. Emma tells Charlie he doesn't have to kill Charlotte. She will just go to the police and tells them the truth. He says what if they don't believe her? She will go to prison and accepts her fate. Charlie rolls over, gets her in bottom, leans next to her, kisses her lips and tells her he can't live without her. He kisses her lips. She puts her around him and they kiss more intimately. Charlize gets between her legs and enters her as they continue to make love, picking up they left off. We cut to Emma and Charlie in the bedroom. They are having sex with various sexual position. We stay with them for a while. Later, Emma and Charlie sit in the bathtub. He tell her they cannot risk going to the cops. He will kill Charlotte. They will take the money and go to France and live happily ever after. They kiss intimately. Charlize comes to Charlotte house. Amelia is taking shower. Charlize looks at a portrait of Amelia. He slowly removes all of his clothes, grabs a knife from the kitchen and goes to upstairs like American Psycho. He enters the bathroom. It is covered with steam. Charlize sees the figure of a woman. He opens the shower curtain. Are we going to have Marion Crane, Janet Leigh, and Norman Bates, Anthony Perkins, moment here? Amelia gives him a beautiful smile. It seems they know each other. They kiss intimately. He drops the knife and they begin to make love in the shower. Amelia then slowly goes down to give him a blowjob. She picks up the knife and stabs him in the stomach. The shower floor is covered with blood. Charlize grabs Amelia's neck to strangle her in vain. He then falls down and dies in the shower box. Amelia goes to the kitchen and grabs cutting devices. She cuts Charles's body into pieces, puts them in the trash bags, cleans the bathroom and gets rid of the evidence. Emma and Amelia meet at a restaurant. Amelia tells her she kills Charlize. Emma asks her why did you kill him? Amelia replies, because I want you to do it yourself. We are trading murder. I killed your cheating husband. You were supposed to kill my stepmother. That was the deal. She gives Emma a gun, gets up and leaves. Emma puts the gun in her purse. Then Detective Robert approaches her, sits at the table. He tells her we know who killed your husband. It's Amelia. But we don't have motive or evidence against her. We want you to wear a wire and get a confession. However, Robert doesn't know about the plot to kill her stepmother. Emma refuses to wear any wire. She gets up and walks away. Later, Emma comes in the middle of the night while Amelia making film. This part is the turning point. Should she shoot her or warn her? Let's make Emma a little bit bad. Charlotte is watching pornography while lying nude on the bed and stimulating her clitoris with a vibrator. Emma climbs the staircase carrying gun. Hollywood studio, Amelia does the same, goes to upstairs with a pistol. Amelia comes to the bedroom and shoots a woman who looks like her stepmother who is sitting on the bed and smoking. But it's not real. It's a film. She plays a contract killer. In the other hand, Emma fires at Carolina and kills her. She leaves the house, gets in her car, comes to a bridge and throws the gun in the river. In the morning, the forensics collects evidence. They question Amelia. She tells him she was making film. Later, Amelia, James, relatives and friends bury Carolina. We see a beautiful supermodel named Sasha at the funeral. James looks at her as if he has known her all his life. She gives him a soft alluring smile. We cut to James' lake house. James and Sasha are having sex in the bedroom. Outside, Amelia comes driving and parks her car in front of James's lake house. She sees Sasha's car. Amelia enters the house. She climbs the staircase heading to the bedroom. Sasha and James continue to make love. Amelia comes to the bedroom. The door is wide open. Amelia leans against the door frame and watches them. James looks at her and continues to make love to Sasha. Amelia collects her dress and begins to finger herself. She is not wearing underwear. James reaches climax, approaches Amelia, kisses her lips and tells her he is marrying Sasha. James is in love with her. Sasha shows Amelia a big diamond ring worth about $25 million on her finger. James says he won't understand any of it. He kisses her French. Amelia knew James was just using her to get rid of his mother. They kiss more intimately. Out of nowhere Amelia produce a gun and shoot James in the belly. He holds his stomach, falls down and dies. She then shoots and kills Sasha. Amelia leaves the original murder weapon at the crime scene that has Emma fingerprints and leaves the house. The cops collect evidence, find Emma's fingerprints on the gun, come to her house and arrest her. At the questioning room, Emma begins to tell them the story from the beginning. In the meantime, we see Amelia behind her convertible driving to Mexico. She takes out a cigarette and smoke. The end. I might work on it from the scratch and make it a feature film under the title Strangers in an Airplane. I have the pictures in my head. You know, Emma sits next to Scarlett in an airplane. Scarlett talks about swamping murder. But I am not sure about the title Strangers in an Airplane. It is not tantalizing. I'll think something like Lethal Nature of Beautiful Women and write it when I have free time. In the meantime, I want to borrow Scarlett Johansson for few minutes. Since I am going through the history of films, I want to look at a couple of film noirs, like Kiss Me Deadly, Farewell, My Lovely and Out of the Past. It's my favorite genre. I have this idea in the back of my brain, Sweet Taboo starring Emma and Scarlett. On the soundtrack, we hear Sada throughout the film. Richard is a private investigator. He is involved with a female private investigator named Maria sexually. I haven't made up my mind whether it's played by Emma or Scarlett. Richard and Maria make love whenever they have nothing to do. But they are not serious about each other. As a matter of fact, they are a rival. She will sell him for a bottle of wine. Richard loves to hang out at a blues house named Sada. It's run by his brother James. A girl named Natalie sings at the club, usually songs by Sada. James plays piano. It's obvious. Richard is in love with Natalie, but she is his brother wife. That's where he draws a line. Not only they are brothers, but they are also best friends. In the meantime, Natalie is dying inside. She is in love with Richard. She can't take her eyes from him. She would pack her stuff and run away with him if he asks her so. Nothing makes her happier than seeing Richard. But at same time, he is her brother-in-law. She can flirt with him here and there. Even seduces him. But she doesn't want to come between them. Richard takes a break from Maria and comes to Sada. Natalie sings No Ordinary Love. Two goons, Luke and Jeremiah, tell Richard the boss want to see him. A gangster named Mars hires Richard to find his girlfriend Sarah, who stole a briefcase that contained bright object like Pulp Fiction, and runs away. Sarah is played by Emma or Scarlett. I haven't made up my mind yet. I am creating the story as I go. Richard tracks Sarah down in Paris. He falls in love with her. Instead of turning her, he begins to have an affair with her. She also lies to him about stealing the briefcase. He doesn't care about the case. He just wants to make love to her day and night. He can't get enough of her. She is addicted to him. Then one day, Richard walks up and finds out she is gone. In the meantime, Mars is inside the house with his two goons Luke and Jeremiah. He has a photos of Richard and Sarah together. Mars asks him where Sarah is. Richard tells him she is gone. He doesn't know where she is. Mars tells him he could have shot him while he was lying on the bed. He was supposed to find his wife, not fuck her. So what's going to be? Richard tells him he made a mistake. It won't happen again. Mars laughs at the situation. It would not be next time. He points a gun at him. Mars then tells him he like him. He gives him 1 in 25 chance to live. Mars has a number in his head. If Richard guesses that number right, Mars will spare his life. He only get 1 chance. So what is it? Richard just guesses 12. Mars is surprised. He tells him that's right, motherfucker. You are the luckiest son of bitch I've never met. Mars tells him to find Sarah but not to fuck her this time. If he does have sex with her, Mars will kill his brother James, his wife, and every person Richard know. Mars wants to let him know he means business. Richard comes to Rome and runs into Maria. He asks her what she is doing. The same thing he is doing, looking for Sarah. She missed him. They have drink and have sex. Richard then confront Maria. She is the one who photographed him and Sarah and gave the photos to Mars. She tells him it's not personal. It's business. Mars hired her to find them. She just doing her job. In the meantime, Richard feels lightheaded. Maria has drugged him. Richard falls unconscious. When he wakes up, she is gone. Richard then tracks down Sarah at a luxurious resort in Rome. He tells her he might have to turn her to Mars this time. Sarah says she doesn't want to go back. Mars will kill her. Richard tell her no, he won't kill her. Mars loves her more than life itself. Richard hands her over to Mars free of charge. Richard admits he was supposed to do his job first time instead of involved with the subject. Mars respects that. Later, Richard sits at Sada and listens to Natalie sing Smooth Operator. His brother is not there. He is in Rome. She comes to his table and tells him she is in love with him. She can't hide it anymore. They come to his house kissing and make love. They sits in the bathtub. Richard reads her poetry. Natalie tells him she can't live without him. He tells her she must return back to her husband. He's a nomad. He sleeps with every beautiful girl who shows him the slightest smile and changes the rhythm of his sensitive heart. In the meantime, Luke and Jeremiah come to the house, tells Richard to put on his clothes and ask him to come to palace. The boss want to have few words with him. Richard puts on his cloth and come to the palace escorted by Luke and Jeremiah. Mars tells Sarah to tell Richard what she just told him. We see the story in flashback. Mars hires Maria indeed to find Richard and Sarah. Mars knows what kind of power that Sarah has over men. He has already suspected the worst. Maria tracks Richard and Sarah down in Paris and photographs them. Later, Maria approaches Sarah and tells her she is supposed to find them and turn them to Mars. But she wouldn't do it. Maria kisses Sarah's lips softly. Instead, Maria asks Sarah to come with her. That night, Sarah gets up in the middle of the night and leaves the house. Maria is waiting for her. Sarah gets in Maria's car. They kiss French and drive away. They come to Rome. They make love a couple of times. She shows her the object in the briefcase. We don't see it. It's a glistening entity. They put it in safe case. Then that day Richard runs into Maria. They have sex. She drugs him but left a matchbox that has the address of a hotel where Sarah is staying accidentally on purpose. Marta then takes the briefcase and runs away. Richard looks at the matchbox, comes to hotel and finds Sarah. He turns her to her Mars. They come to safe case and discover the briefcase is gone. We return back to Richard, Mars, and Sarah at the palace. Mars hires Richard to track down Maria. He promises him he won't kill her as long as she returns the briefcase. Richard knows where Maria is hiding. He tracks her down in Barcelona. Richard tells her it is business. Sarah tells him they can run away together with the briefcase. He asks her what is in the briefcase. Sarah opens it and show him. It's a glowing object. He questions her how much does it worth. She tells him priceless. To be continued. I will work on it when I get free time. However, I might have to write Lady Gaga 30-minute short film. I owe her a music video. Evolution of Lady Gaga. It's a story about Lady Gaga who has a supernatural power shot Mad Max style. The story takes place in post-apocalypse. When she was a baby, her mother Sarah leaves her at the doorstep of a church and walks away. A woman named Mariana finds her and takes her home. She names her Lady Gaga. One day, Mariana cuts her hand while cutting onion. Little Lady Gaga touches her hand and heals her wound miraculously. Mariana is taken by Lady Gaga's supernatural power. Lady Gaga grows up before our eyes and goes to high school. She begins to sing. A girl named Rita jumps from the roof to commit suicide and ends up breaking her legs. Lady Gaga touches Rita's wound and heals her. The students freak out. Then a student named Jack gets in a fight with gang of kids. They kick him till he falls unconscious. Lady Gaga heals Jack as she continues to sing. Later, they have X game competition. Lady Gaga begin to heal hundreds. Professional dancers pretend to be clowns, mental illness, physical disabilities, blinds, men and women who fall from motorcycles and break their legs, dancing with breathtaking acrobats and then breaking arms, twisting ankles and knees, etc. She just touches them, they are healed. They then dance with her with well choreographed dances here and there while she is singing. Lady Gaga then begin to feel their pain. She heals a model with a stab wound in his stomach. There is a blood on her nose and mouth. Mariana sends them home and takes Lady Gaga with her. She tells her not to heal people anymore. They get in Mariana's convertible and drive to a new town as Lady Gaga continue to sing. People have amazing sense of style in this part of the town and more civilized. They all look beautiful and erotic. Lady Gaga and Mariana come to a street market. Lady Gaga is singing while shopping. She sees a prince riding on a horse greeting the citizens as he passes by. His guards keep eyes on him. He looks at Lady Gaga and gives him a charismatic smile. She is in love. Out of nowhere come the rebels and attacks the prince and his soldiers, firing guns and shooting arrows and charging with axes. Some of them are riding motorcycle and jumping in the air. There is a total chaos. Lady Gaga is caught in the pandemonium. Actually, the battle is well choreographed dance. She is bouncing off them and dancing like a mad girl, falling on the ground, getting up, falling back, rolling on the ground and dancing as she is born to dance, the Lady Gaga we all love and admire. In the meantime, the guards protect the prince as they continue to fight the rebels with spellbinding dance. Yet, Mark, one of the guard, is a warrior like Mad Max. He kills a couple of rebels bravely and fearlessly while dancing like Channing Tatum in Step Up. Then a bad guy stabs Mark in the side of his stomach with a sword. Mark falls on Lady Gaga's arm as she continues to sing. She touches his wound and heals him. He doesn't believe what just happened and looks at her eyes in wonder. In the meantime, the prince and the guards retreat back. They take the prince away safely. Mark joins them. Mariana saw Lady Gaga saving Mark. Lady Gaga is a little bit weak from healing Mark. Mariana tells her they must leave the town as soon as possible. They pack their stuff, get in their convertible, drive and come to a new town. They all have amazing sense of fashion. Lady Gaga lays low for a while. She sits in a bathtub and continues to sing. She touches herself fantasying about the Prince Edward. Her spirit parts from her flesh, gets out of the bathtub nude, walks through thin air, hidden dimension, and comes to the Garden of Eden. She sees Prince Edward without a cloth like God created Adam, feeding the birds. He looks at her. She approaches him. He walks up to her. They kiss intimately. He takes her hand, then walks down the garden and come to a beautiful water fountain and a pond and swans swimming. There is a mattress on the ground. Lady Gaga and Prince Edward kiss and fall on the mattress. They kiss more intimately and begin to make love. On the soundtrack, Lady Gaga continue to sing. Lady Gaga and Edward have sex with series cuts. We don't know that was a fantasy or something else. Lady Gaga then begins to perform at Fox Lady Club as a burlesque. She sings a new song like Katharina Zeta-Jones All That Jazz in Chicago. A man named James who saw her sing and dance tells her he wants her to perform at his theater. She accepts the challenge. In the meantime, the prince is crowned as a king. Edward comes to the theater and sees one of her performance. He is in love with her. However, there is nothing he can do about it. Edward is married the Queen of France Marguerite. One day, Prince Edward gets sick after a maiden named Sabrina poisons him. She is a spy. She was working for the rebels. The king is near death. In the meantime, Lady Gaga does a show imitating Jesus Christ. In the show, they put her on the cross and crucifies her upside down. The cop stops the performance and arrest her for blasphemy. The judge sentences her to be burned on a stake. They bring her to execution podium. They strip all of her clothes and whip her as hundreds watch. When they are about to carry out the execution, Mark, the warrior now general whom Lady Gaga saved his life earlier, recognizes her and stopped the execution at the last seconds. He takes her with him, tells her the king is about to die and asks her to save his life. Lady Gaga comes to the palace and finds the king dead. She has always been in love with him, kisses his lips and brings him back to life. Edward looks at her eyes. He can't believe she is the same girl whom he falls in love with. In the meantime, Lady Gaga gets sick and falls unconscious. She has absorbed his pain. She sleeps on bed at the king's palace. The king walks up and down. He is waiting for her to wake up. Lady Gaga has a dream dancing with the king with well-choreographed dance like Ed Sheeran in Thinking Out Loud, yet we see royal guest in the background and Mariana. He then picks her up, carries her, walk down the place, through the guests, takes her to upstairs and brings her to his bedroom. They remove each other cloths and make love with serious cuts. Later, in the morning, Lady Gaga wakes up and sees the king sleeping on the chair. He opens his eyes and sees her. He doesn't know what to say. He just asks her how she is doing. Lady Gaga tells him she's fine. The king sits on the bed and looks at her. They gaze at each other for long seconds. When they are about to kiss, the queen walks in. Marguerite tells Edward the doctor is outside. They let him in. He checks her. She is fine. Later, they have lunch. They have conversation. It seems the queen wants Lady Gaga to leave. The king can't take his eyes off her. Lady Gaga has already gained her strength. The king asks her to stay. She knows he is married and doesn't want to break a royal marriage. Lady Gaga tells him she must leave. The king then tells the queen he wants to be with the woman who saved his life. He sends his guards to find her. They catch up with Lady Gaga as she is about to get in a train and leave the town. They tell her the king wants to see her. They bring her back to the palace. The king tells her he is in love with her. He has already denounced his throne, so he can spend the rest of his life with her. She tells him she is in love with him as well. They kiss, make love for real with series cuts and live happily ever after. The end. I might add few dialogue here and there, use 4 or 5 songs and make it an hour movie or maybe more. It's up to Lady Gaga. Let's go back to Kill Jr. Jr. gets the news of Kenya's death while shooting a movie starring Elizabeth and Leonardo. Sophia calls him and tells him about it. He is unmoved. He knows it was coming and continues to film. In the other hand, Nikki finds out Bibi is the daughter of Kiddo after she goes through Kenya's belonging. There is the profile of Bibi and her mother. Bibi forgot to check Kenya's bag. Nikki doesn't tell anybody. She just keeps the information to herself. We see paramedics everywhere. Bibi runs into Nikki at the main floor. Nikki acts innocent as if she saw nothing. But deep down in her heart there is eternal flame that puts the fire in hell into shame and can easily consume Bibi alive if Bibi looks deep into Nikki's eyes or says something to her. Nikki doesn't want to start a fight inside FBI headquarters. It would attract the attention of the agents who are still breathing and trying to make sense out of this confusion, including the head of Federal Bureau Investigation Samuel. Besides, Nikki does not really have beef with Bibi. She just wants to kill Beatrix. However, Nikki knows she might have to eliminate anything that might get in her way from carrying out one of the evilest premeditated acts of all human nature, revenge. Once, it's buried deep in the subconscious of the mind, it is hard to turn your back and walk away from it. Yet, Nikki is pro. The pain can only be seen in her blackest pupils as they completely eclipse her beautiful dark peach irises like Twilight in Exotic Island over the edge. She gets orgasm when she thinks about killing a person. Bibi is that person whom Nikki wants to murder at this particular moment. Her eyes usually give her away. She is really tempted to take Bibi's life but holds her drive back. It is neither the right time nor the place to kill a person. Nikki knows it well, puts her sunglasses, excuses Bibi, and leaves the building. Bibi knows what it's up. In flashback, we see Bibi and Nikki training at the new FBI headquarters and the main training center in Pasadena, CA. It's the equivalent of FBI headquarters Langley, Virginia. The Bureau moved it to California. Its worm and allows the agents to train day and night. Nikki breaks her opponents, fellow agents, as if they were toothpicks. BB and Nikki then go against each other. It is even. Nikki is hiding some secret kung fu moves. BB hits her with beautiful martial art. Nikki then brings it on. She is explosive. Nikki returns the favor. She hits BB with a couple of combinations with amazing speed. They go at it like Jet Li vs Wushu Master, Chin Su Ho, in Fist of Legend. It is breathtaking fight. BB is Jet Li even though she is lightning fast like Chin Su Ho. But it seems Nikki is getting the best of her. BB quickly collects her composure, hits her with a couple of breathtaking kung fu and regains her moment. BB makes Cynthia Rothrock a babysitter. Actually, she was taking it easy on Nikki. BB toys with Nikki making her miss here and there and blocking every blow Nikki is throwing at her and hitting her with spectacular kung fu, punches and kicks. Then Nikki makes a mistake coming at BB with a flying sidekick in frustration. BB steps aside, gets up high in the air and hit Nikki with 360 spin kick like Jean-Claude Van Damme. She knocks her out. The trainer stops the fight. Yet, BB has never seen anyone moves like Nikki. She just showed BB the art of free-floating even though she got knocked out at the last minute. In another flashback, Nikki is fighting a man. It's another training session. He is pretty good. He holds his ground. Yet, she is in a bad mood. It could be PMS or she might have seen the ghost of her mother. Whatever it's. Nikki begins to pick him apart. She shatters his jaw and puts him unconscious. He lies on the floor flat. Blood comes out his nose and teeth like hell. BB looks at Nikki as if she is saying, "This bitch is a psychopath." Nikki gives her a wink. She looks a little bit sadistic. She has two sides. Later, BB and Nikki get a call. We are still in flashback. A group of terrorists led by a Turkish man named Abu Bakr hold college students and professors hostage at UCLA. They are carrying all kinds of guns and demand $100 million or they will kill the future of America every 5 minutes, students. BB and Nikki get out of the car. Terrorists have already killed a couple of students, professors, and scientists. Abu Bakr says he wants the government to release his cousin Mustafa, the one terrorist in the world, put him in the plane and send him to Istanbul while he is watching live in CNN. That is not going to happen. USA don't negotiate with terrorist. Special Agent Samuel gives BB and Nikki a green light to take them out. BB and Nikki begin to kill the terrorists like Phantom of Sin and the Shadow of Beelzebub, blowing their brains and breaking their necks with nasty kung fu. Yet, Nikki is sadistic. Mr. Blonde has nothing on her. She is the most murderous creature in the world. She continues to shoot the bad guys in the faces, slices their throats as if they were sheep that the righteous make scarification to God. She then tastes their bloods to make sure they are dead as if she can tell they are alive or dead by its sweetness despite the fact she had opened their larynx that are responsible for breathing, sound production and protecting windpipe against food aspiration and splatter their brain to kingdom come. Nikki catches a bad guy by surprise, hits his throat, a pressure point, with sick kung fu blow. She then cuts the vein in his neck with her knife. His entire blood shoots out of his neck. Nikki sucks his blood while he is still alive like a vampire, rather she drinks it as if she just comes out of the desert while his blood shooting out of his neck like broken water foundation. It's romantic like The Great Exceptions when Estella played by Gwyneth Paltrow kisses Philip Perrip played by Ethan Hawke, except Nikki's face is covered with the blood of her latest prey. She then breaks his neck and kills him after she quenches her thirst. Blood drips down by her chin. BB just looks at her in disbelief as if she is saying, "What is this girl problem?" But still she has a lot of respect for Nikki. These motherfuckers are trying to take them out and continue to kill innocent people, students and teachers, as if they were lab rats. Neither BB nor Nikki is going to have sense of doubt about it. They have to act quickly. BB takes a page from Nikki's textbook of madness. She kills the last 5 guys at the speed of light, blowing their brains off. She then dives in the air, grabs Abu Bakr's hair, tackles him down and shoots him in the face at close range. His blood splatters on her face like chow yun fat and hard-boiled. BB and Nikki save the day. Samuel is proud of them and congratulates them. But BB still can't shake Nikki's madness from her thoughts. Later, BB comes to Nikki's house in the middle of the night while Nikki is dancing at a nightclub. BB goes through Nikki's stuff. She sees the photos of her mother, Beatrix, and Vanita in their glorious days dressed in black when they used to work for Senior. They were best friends. There are also photos of Junior Serpents, the Deadly Vipers assassination squad, or Vanita, Beatrix, Ellen, and Bud. BB knows them by heart. She had looked into her mother's belonging. Beatrix has kept few photographs. BB then sees the profile of her mother. There is X on the photo of Beatrix. She knows what it means, Beatrix is a dead woman. In the meantime, Nikki returned to her house from the club with her African-American rock star boyfriend, Patrick. BB puts back the file where she got it and hides in the kitchen. Nikki senses someone is in her house. She tells Patrick to wait in the living room, takes out her gun and goes after the intruder. Bibi thinks she is going to get caught. She sees Nikki walking toward the kitchen. She has less than a second to act. Nikki enters the kitchen. Bibi is gone. Where did she go? Nikki points her gun at all direction and finds nothing. Bibi is inside the roof seals. We don't know how she got in there and how fast she managed to do it so. She is holding on tubes and electric wires. Bibi can't put pressure on the roof seals. They're extremely thin. She'd fall through it and give herself away. The seals are made of paper like wood. Bibi can only rest the tips of her toes on the frame like a ballerina. In the meantime, Nikki scents the presence of a stranger. She puts down her gun on the kitchen counter, grabs a sharp kitchen knife and flicks it hard at the roof like a ninja. It pierces through the seal, hits something, and sticks in the roof. There is blood on the roof seal. Is that Bibi's blood? Nikki is about to figure it out. She does not even need a ladder or a chair to get up there and see what it's. She just walks toward the exit a little bit, turns around, runs toward the refrigerator, climbs and kicks it to spring herself. She gets up in the air, twists her body and kicks the roof seal with powerful taekwondo bow. It happens fast. The roof seal obliterated into pieces. A big rat with knife through his body falls down on her kitchen floor. In the living room, Patrick, who has been talking on the phone, looks at the direction of kitchen. But he is into the phone. Female voice can be heard in the other end of the line. He tells her hold on. He thinks about checking Nikki but changes his mind. He knows Nikki is crazy. He tells her never mind and resumes his conversation. In quick flashback, we see Bibi looking at the rat. She is not terrified or anything. She focuses on what is happening in the kitchen as if she is looking at Nikki. She can sense and hear everything in the house. In the meantime, she quickly grabs the rat and rolls her body while still holding on the tube with her right hand in amazing flexibility. She puts the rat where she was as Nikki throws the knife. Bibi doesn't even look at the rat when the knife goes through its body. It happens in a blink of an eye. Seconds, the roof explodes by her face. As Nikki kicks it. Nikki looks at the rat. It is a popular dish in Southeastern Asia. People eat a deep-fried rat on a stick in Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand. Nikki picks it up, retrieves the knife from the rat's body. She washes the rat with hot water, cleans his gut cavity, puts it on a wood chopping plate and cuts it into small pieces. Nikki then plays Ride on Time by Black Box and begins to cook the rat as she sings and dances while shaking her butts. Nikki fried it with oil. She adds onions, tomato sauce, pepper, salt, and all kinds of spices. She does it so fast. It's martial art itself. In the meantime, it seems Nikki knows Bibi is inside the roof. There is a faint smile on Nikki's face. Bibi remains silent to avoid confrontation. She continues to hold on grabbing electric wires and keeping her toes on the frame. The food looks delicious. It sure has a tasty aroma. In the living room, Patrick smells it and finally hangs up his cell phone, puts it on the coffee table and comes to the kitchen. He asks Nikki what she is cooking. She tells him it's nothing. They kiss intimately. On the stereo, 100% Pure Love by Crystal Waters plays. Nikki is on heat. She begins to remove Patrick's shirt. He doesn't need any assist. He removes all his clothes, so does Nikki. She strips all her clothes and stands only in Victoria's Secret underwear revealing her delicious breasts and curvaceous butt. They kiss French. Patrick puts her on the kitchen table, slowly removes her underwear and throws it away. They kiss lasciviously. Patrick then grabs her buttocks and enters her as they begins to make love. Bibi listens to them. Patrick then bends her and enters her behind, doggy style. She is loving it and talking dirty. Is that all you got? Fuck me harder. It feels so good. Patrick hits it sweet. Nikki makes all kinds of sexual pleasure sounds. He must have got her G-spot. She reaches multiple orgasm. He increases the speeds. She screams like a porn star. He pulls her hair and comes inside her. They kiss intimately. Then Patrick's cell phone rings in the living room, T.L.C's waterfall. He excuses Nikki, kisses her lips seductively, comes to the living room, sits on the sofa without a single drop of cloth and answers it. There is a female voice in the other end of the line. We can tell Patrick is going to be on the phone for a while. In the kitchen, Nikki, who is also nude, pours a red wine for herself and takes a sip. She does look like a porn star. She has one of the most beautiful bodies in the world. On the stereo, Flashing Lights by Kanye West footwheel comes. Nikki dances shaking her butts. She looks at the food. There is an evil but seductive smile on her face. Kill Bill 3, Part 8. Nikki then says, "The rat is for you, bitch. I'd love to dance with you but I am sweating like a whore. I'll go take a shower. You can come down, eat and leave my house in peace." She drinks the wine in one breath, exits the kitchen and heads upstairs to take shower while dancing. Bibi gets down from the roof, does not even look at the food, walks straight down the living room and exits like a ghost. Patrick didn't ever see her leave. He continues to talk on his cell phone. Nikki is taking shower. Bibi gets in her motorcycle and rides down the street with full speed. That was flashback. We return back to Bibi. She is behind the wheel of her convertible driving in the street of Los Angeles. She knows Nikki is one of the most dangerous women in the world. She has to watch her back. Now Nikki knows Bibi is the daughter of Beatrix. Nobody knows what she is going to do next. Bibi calls Kevin to make sure he is okay. That is her number one concern. He tells her he is fine and cannot wait to see her eyes. Bibi knows her mother can take care of herself. God would have to come down from heaven with a sword made with pure lightning and thunderstorm and catch her by surprise just to draw a drop of her blood and see what her heart is made of. He would then fall down on his knees after she severs his head with her Hattori Hanzo sword, figuratively speaking. If it comes down to living the most exciting life ever and fulfilling her destiny beyond her wildest fantasy, or if anyone compromises the expectation she has for herself, there would be no more heaven but blood and hell on earth. Yet, she has made peace with God. He is her best friend. As far as the devil and his demons concern, they can testify behalf of the fiends that she sent to hell. They are still burning with the memories of her eyes when she butchers them without mercy. It's hotter than the fire in hell. She is what Quentin call a natural-born killer. Nobody knows in the previous life she might even have a fallout with God after she caused a couple of angels and saints to sin and broke some of the 10 commandments, including "Thou shalt have no other gods before me, thou shalt not covet, thou shalt not kill and thou shalt not commit adultery." She was breathtaking and dangerous liaison. She was caught up with Maria de Medeiros in Henry and June, she was irresistible in Pulp Fiction. She was poisonously delicious in Batman and Robin. She slaughtered a couple of demons who tried to keep her at bay and came up on top of the world in Kill Bill. Of course, I am talking about Uma Thurman. Actually, she is one of the sweetest persons in the world. But this is fiction. We can bend few rules and make her larger than life. Regardless, Beatrix will kill anybody who fucks with her. She will murder a motherfucker who has a dream insulting her or hurts someone whom she loves dearly in his sleeping state, even though she is not a fighter but a lover. But the old Bill would have made a fighter out of Juliet's heart and a killer from the bride. I am just buying time and figure out the angles. It's more complex than I thought. You know, I was thinking about making them fight in the air without their feet touching the ground, doing all kind of acrobat, no restriction of gravity whatsoever, and clashing their swords in the air like goddesses and adding few more cats. I have this vision. Beatrix versus Lola aka Puma, played by Emily Blunt. She used to be one of Junior's cats. But she went solo. He just calls her when he needs her. We are at forest. The ground is covered with golden leaves. Wind is blowing, making leaves floating in the air. Beatrix walks down the forest with Hataro and meet Lola. They get up in the air as if gravity never existed and clash their swords in the sky like goddess of air, fire, and wind. It's one of the most spectacular sword fights we have ever seen. They only return the ground to spring up and attack with everything they have. They do all kinds of acrobats while clashing their swords in the air. In the end, Beatrix cuts Lola's neck. Her blood splatter on leaves. Her face rests on leaves and sleeps in beauty as blood goes out of her neck. We cut BB in the theater vs Jessica aka Ocelot, played by Zendaya. On the soundtrack, we hear applause by Lady Gaga's. BB is face painted white and dressed as a geisha. Jessica is wearing a beautiful Versace dress and carrying sparkling sword. There are audiences watching. In quick flashback, we see the audience asked to give their cell phone at the entrance. They drop it in the box. So they can't record the fight. We are back, BB and Jessica. It's Junior who arranged the fight. He is sitting in the VIP box with Sadie. BB and Jessica begin to combat in the air with grace, beauty, and elegance as if they were held by invisible suspension. Artificial snowflakes are falling from the sky. We also see Japanese temples in the background. BB and Jessica continue to go at it, clashing their swords in the air like Japanese goddesses. They even step on audiences' heads, spring up, flip in the air and clash their swords as if they have nothing to lose while doing all kinds of acrobat like Iron Monkey. After a breathtaking fight, BB hits Jessica with deadly kung fu in the air, spins in the air and cuts the back of Jessica's neck. Jessica's blood splatters on Junior's face. Jessica falls in the snows and dies. Red blood shoots out of the back of her neck. It's graphic. In the meantime, Junior cleans Jessica's blood from his face with his hand and tastes it. He then gets up and claps his hands. First, the audiences are confused and don't know how to react. They then get up and give BB standing ovation as we continue to hear Lady Gaga's applause. The two fight did not happen or might only be available on the director cut. I have to keep it true to the first two Kill Bill, without air fighting. Let's go back to BB. She is driving in the street of Los Angeles. She calls her mother to see how she is doing while driving. Beatrix tells BB she can't wait to marry Kevin. Wait, I want to see BB in the wedding gown instead. Beatrix had her moment in the porch of the chapel when the snake charmer came to visit her playing flute at the opening scene of Kill Bill 2. She was in the middle of wedding rehearsal. She then heard a flute and stepped outside and stood in the porch slightly leaning against the wood frame. I thought she looked breathtaking. I didn't even know it was shot in black until I saw it again in YouTube. I doubt a wedding would top that scene. She looks irresistible. Besides, I want to see what Emma would look like in a wedding gown and create one of the most memorable scenes in cinema. So let me see what I can do. I have to get BB in a wedding gown as soon as possible. In true romance, Clarence asked Alabama to marry him after they just spent one day together. They got married and set the world on fire. Instead, Beatrix tells BB she is doing wonderful and not to worry anything. BB tells her I love you. Beatrix tells her I love you too. They hang up the phones. BB plays music and continues to drive in the street. BB meets Nathan at a romantic restaurant. She is happy to see him alive. Nikki would have killed him just to see the expression of BB's face change. Luckily, Nikki is not after BB. She wants the bride, who put a dagger in her mother's chest. BB and Nathan have glasses of red wines. There is a live jazz music. A girl named Lydia is singing White Flag by Dido. BB can't take her eyes off Nathan. She doesn't want to lose him. She is madly in love with him. He's looking at her soul straight through her eyes softly. He's in love with her as well. They both say at the same time, let's get married. There is a silent moment. BB tells him let's drive to Vegas and get married tonight. But he has a different idea. Nathan says he wants to see her in a wedding gown. They should get married in the beach. He will build a beautiful wedding chapel himself next to the Pacific Ocean. They will invite a couple of friends and relatives, about 10. It is a week from now. She likes the idea. They kiss French. On the stage, Lydia sings Killing Me Softly by Roberta Flack. Nathan gives BB his hand and asks her to dance. She takes his hand. They come to the dance floor and dance slow. They then kiss intimately. We are at the Nathan house. BB and Nathan make love in round candlelight. On the soundtrack, Night in White Satin by the Moody Blues plays soulfully. We stay with them with serious cuts. We then cut to the BB and Nathan wedding day. There is a beautiful chapel built next to the Pacific Ocean. Nathan stands at the chapel. Actually, it's a much bigger wedding than we anticipated. There are about 53 guests. Beatrix is present. BB comes to the chapel escorted by Kevin. She looks the most breathtaking bride we have ever seen in our lives. BB glows brighter than the sun in heaven. It's figuratively speaking. But she looks radiant. Nathan can't believe how beautiful she looks. He takes her hand. They stand in front of the priest. Junior can be seen sitting in the back at the bride's side. He is wearing sunglasses. Will there be any surprise like Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2? Will Junior let them have this day? A beautiful girl named Margot aka Serval played by Daisy Ridley is sitting next to him. She is Junior's new cat. They kiss seductively and part their lips. He gives her a wink. She gets up and leaves. What is she going to do? We have no idea. BB and Nathan look at each other's eyes as if they were made of the tears, pride, scintillas, and love in their eyes. The priest marries them. They say I dose. BB puts a ring on Nathan's finger. He places a ring on her finger. They kiss French. We cut to the reception. Katy Perry sings live. BB and Nathan dance slow. Some of the guests mingle sipping champagne and enjoying refreshment. Others can be seen dancing. Beatrix and Kevin dance next the bride and the groom. BB tells Nathan she loves him. He tells her he loves her, too. They kiss French. She then parts her lips and looks at his eyes. In flashback, Margot sends BB a wedding gown and Hutro sword that belongs to her father and an invitation to meet her at St. Mary Cathedral after her wedding or a lot of innocent people will die. We return from the flashback and finds ourselves at St. Mary Cathedral. BB respects her wish and comes to the church in wedding gown and carrying Hutro sword. Margot is waiting for her at the chapel standing next to the sculpture of Mary and Jesus, Mother of God carrying the body of her son on her lap after the crucifixion. It's similar to Michelangelo's Pieta. Margot is wearing a black tuxedo and carrying a bloodthirsty sword as well. It's a brand new cathedral. They have not placed chairs yet. There is a device that emits smoke. It has covered the entire floor with cloud. It looks like heaven. As a matter of fact, it's one of the biggest churches in the world if not the largest. It rivals the Cathedral of Seville in Spain. It's Junior who is paying for it. On the soundtrack, as well as on a stereo, we hear Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Margot tells her congratulations on your wedding. BB says, thanks for the wedding gown. They square up and begin to combat. They clash their swords like lovers and warriors. I don't know what that means but it's a classic sword fight. They are not flying in the air. but they have a lot of styles. Then Bohemian Rhapsody increases the tempo. Bibi and Margot pick up the pace. They clang their swords with conviction, vindication, hate and condemnation. They are going at it maliciously. It is one of the most spectacular sword fights in the history of cinema. Then Bibi hits her in the spinal cord with a deadly kung fu blow that immobiles her arms and cuts her fatally in her throat. It's a thin cut in her neck, but it's a major blood vessel. Margot can only hold it with her feet and stop the blood. She just falls in her knees and looks at blood shooting out of her neck like a brand new hose that has hole. I doubt she can reach it with her feet and halt the bleeding, which is the only option she is left with. That's supposed to be a joke. I'm in Quentin Tarantino's mind. But there is nothing comedy about what we are looking at. Her entire blood is shooting out of her vein. The last 3 lines of blood spring out of her neck as if a little girl is playing with a toy gun that's filled with red ink instead of water and pulled the trigger a couple of times in Margot's imagination. She then falls in the cloud and dies. Bibi leaves the church without a smile but respect. The honeymoon is in Paris. Bibi and Nathan visit a couple of interesting places including the Louvre Museum, Arc de Triomphe, Champs-Élysées, Notre Dame and the Latin Quarter, and take a walk in the bridge over Seine River. They drink red wine at a romantic restaurant by Eiffel Tower, at night. They then come to a karaoke bar. Bibi sings All That Jazz by Catherine Zeta-Jones. She is not looking at the lyrics. She knows it by heart. It's a wireless microphone. Isn't she supposed to be just singing? Bibi doesn't think so. She has a couple of red wines. Bibi produces a cigarette, lights the cigarette, takes a drag and exhales out the smoke as she continues to sing while dancing like Catherine Zeta-Jones. It seems she is a better dancer than a fighter. Everybody is looking at her in wow. She then comes to Nathan and dances around him like an exotic dancer as she continues to sing while smoking cigarette with style. Bibi breathes a cigarette smoke at Nathan's face and kisses him just as she finishes singing. The audiences give her standing ovations and a round of applause. It's Nathan's turn. He sings God Must Have Spent a Little More Time on You by Alabama Foot in Sync. He knows the lyrics by heart as well. Bibi and Nathan then converse about life. On the karaoke stage, an Englishman sings How Deep Is Your Love by Bee Gees. Bibi and Nathan stop talking and begin to listen to him silently. However, Bibi can't help gazing at Nathan's eyes. She is in love. He turns his attention away from the song and looks at her eyes. She tells him she loves him so much. Sometimes, it hurts deep in her soul like a Shaolin knife. He tells her he loves her very much too. They kiss intimately. We cut to Bibi as she sings Chaka Khan's Ain't Nobody. She never looks at the lyrics. She knows most of them by heart. Bibi and Nathan come to a nightclub and dance till they sweat. You Got the Best of My Love by The Emotions plays in the club. Bibi is dancing while singing. As usual, she knows the lyrics of the song. Doesn't take much to make me happy, and make me smile with glee, never, never will I feel discouraged, cause our love's no mystery, demonstrating love and affection, that you give so openly, yet, I like the way you make me about you, baby, want the whole wide world to see. Bibi then gets down steamy with Donna Summer's I Feel Love. She looks sensual. She is dancing seductively inside James's arms, breath to breath. Nathan is running his hands all over her body and moving with her flirtatiously. Bibi and Nathan then kiss passionately. They make love in their hotel. On the soundtrack, music plays. Bibi and Nathan kiss intimately. He then caresses her neck, kisses her breasts and enters her as they begin to make love. It's steamy, seductive, and passionate. We stay with them with series cuts as they continue to make love. Later, Nathan does a nude portrait of Bibi. She poses without a single drop of cloth lying on the bed. They then make love. In the other part of the world, Junior is in the middle of shooting a movie at the beach. 3 beautiful African American women and an African American man sing Boney M's Daddy Cool. We see Junior in action for the first time. He is surrounded by 14 bad guys. Sadie is dancing sensually while smoking cigarette. They come after him with swords and knives. They are skillful fighters. It is supposed to be a movie. But Junior takes them out with vengeance without mercy. It is real. He kills 9 with his bare hands and puts the rest of them unconscious with deadly kung fu blows just as they finish singing Daddy Cool. Sadie approaches him. Junior and Sadie kiss. His goons clean the mess, putting dead bodies in 3 trucks. If they are alive, they would shoot them in the heads and put them out of their misery. They load all of them in the trucks like bags of trashes and drive away. Sophia comes to the set driving her convertible and pulls her car near Junior. She gets out of a car and gives him a letter. It's from Beatrix. Bills reads it. We hear Beatrix's voice in voiceover. It says, I know you are looking for me. I killed your father. I am sorry. That's all I can say. Once a friend of mine whom I killed said if she could go back in a time machine and change the past, she would have. That's a different story. I still feel bad about killing Junior. He is the father of my daughter and my mentor and best friend. But I would not change a damn thing. Junior knew he had it coming. He put a bullet in my brain and robbed the first 5 years of my daughter's life. I could have forgiven him for that. But I knew he would have never let me walk away with my daughter. He would have hunted me down like the Prince of Darkness, cut my throat in my sleep and put a dagger in my heart. But I doubt it. He had to drug me first. I wouldn't have gone out without a fight. However, nobody knew what Junior was capable of doing if I had given him time. Revenge was an excuse. It was kismet. I am not saying I do not have regrets. I have killed a lot of people. But is it my fault? I was just dealing with the situation I put myself into. I can still see the faces of people that I killed, some of them. It's the mind whenever it needs a glass of whiskey in the middle of the night or maybe sex. It digs them out of my memory and send images to my cerebrum like bad romance. We all carry demons inside our brain. That is nothing new. But I see Bill as in my dream. I talk to him in my sleep as if he were still alive. I guess I missed him a lot. Let me put it this way. Bill was and will always be the best and the worst thing ever happened to me. But enough about the great Bill. Let's talk about you, Junior. I can kill you anytime I want to. That is not a secret. But I do not want to take your life unless you are an absolute threat to my daughter and continue to provoke it. I don't worry about myself. I can always take care of myself. I know who I am and what I am capable of. Just send your best fighter and we'll take it from there. The address is 1000 Elysian Park Ave, Los Angeles, California 90012 at the Dodger Stadium. I know you, Junior. You are just like your father. You have inherited most of his personality. Bill was never a rat. He was a snake charmer. I broke his heart and put him in vendetta mood. I can tell you for fact I had never seen anything pure evil so singularly personified in the face of the man who buried a bullet in my skull. Do I deserve it? Did I hurt his feeling? Am I a bad person? I doubt it. However, I was selfish. I am still narcissistic. I have always wanted to be happy more than anything else and nothing makes me happy seeing my daughter living the best life possible without fear but love, peace and freedom. She is a part of me. I can't allow anybody, who compromises that creed, to walk around breathing the same fresh air as lovers do in Paris or attain peace of mind like the angels and saints in heaven. I will come in the night and collect their heads while they are sleeping. It is not a shibboleth. It is not a gospel but a religion, something scared deep in my soul with fire. May God have mercy upon my enemies. Nobody will not walk away from the gates of death when I unleash abyss on those who try to outguess me. Regardless, Bill was different. No devil, as a matter of fact, gods knew what he was in his mind. I doubt he would rest in peace wherever he is. But I know you are not going to invite all your assassins, serial killers, the entire LAPD and the ghost of Bruce Lee. I can take 2 of your cats at the same time. But out of respect to those bloodthirsty kittens, I can only fight 1 cat at a time to death. So make sure you send your best fighter and end it as soon as possible before I change my mind. Yours, Beatrix. Chapter 22. Junior gives the letter back to Sophia and asks her to give him her cell phone. Junior dials Sienna, played by Suki Waterhouse. She is the equivalent of Bud if he had a skill. We don't know the history of Bud. But we can assume he used to be a killer if Hattori Hanzo is willing to make him a sword behalf of Junior. Yet, Sienna is one of the deadliest women in the world. She is right there with Sadie. We might see her in action as she takes out the entire Russian mafias alone in flashback. Let's see it. Sienna is behind the wheel of 2014 Lexus convertible driving in the streets of Los Angeles. On the soundtrack, My Immortality by Evanescent plays melodiously. She comes to Boris's palace in the middle of the night. He is one of the most dangerous Russian mafias in the world. Sienna slices the guards' throats, shoots a couple of goons with her silencer and comes to Boris's bedroom with making a sound. Boris is not even aware of what is going on. He is sleeping like a fiend that has no worries whatsoever. She grabs his hair, puts the gun in his mouth and shoots him in his sleep. His brain splatters on a 22-year-old girl named Natasha who is sleeping next to him. It must have felt Sleeping Beauty and Stalin in an alternative universe till the nightmare, figuratively speaking. The splatter wakes her up. Sienna points her gun at her. Natasha is so beautiful. Our hearts grow wings, turn to spirit inside our bodies, leave our fleshes and dance with the stars. She might be a model. She looks like Sasha Pivovarova. She has soft lips. Sienna is already in love with her. She slowly comes around the bed, caresses her face tenderly with the back of her hand and kisses her lips French. Natasha does not resist. As a matter of fact, she is attracted to her. She kisses her as well. Sienna removes the bed sheet. Natasha is not wearing a single drop of cloth. She is nude like God made Eve at the Genesis. Sienna pushes the dead Vor's body off the bed and kisses Natasha's lips more. Natasha can't help it. She is drawn to this bloodthirsty cat. She lets her have her. They kiss passionately. Sienna then parts her lips, slowly goes down, caressing her neck and kissing her breasts, plants a soft kiss on her belly, gets between her legs and gives her oral pleasure. On the soundtrack, My Immortality continues to play melodiously. Sienna and Natasha then begin to make love. I am kidding. It didn't happen. She just gives her a soft kiss on the lips and leaves the palace without making a sound. Sienna is in her convertible driving in the streets of Los Angeles. She still has a couple of hits that she has to carry out. Actually, Sienna has to take out 5 Russian mafias in one night like Tom Cruise in Collateral. They are not witnesses and a prosecutor. They are hardcore criminals. It's Junior who gives her the assignment directly. Sienna already killed Boris. Vladimir is next. Let's continue to watch it in montage. Sienna comes to Vladimir's nightclub. On the soundtrack, Bring Me Back by Evanescent come replacing My Immortality. Sienna kills all of his guards in the club, buries 3 bullets between Vladimir's eyes and walks away. Unlike Leon in The Professional, she doesn't give a fuck if they recognize him or not. Leon told Matilda never to shoot them in the face. Clients might not recognize them. Later, he detonated a man with a bomb who refused to open the door. I thought that was hilarious, but you do what you have to do. Regardless, Leon had to take that psychopath Gary Oldman with him to hell. But nobody know what is down there. To his surprise, he might discover Drexel is Satan himself. Regardless, Sienna is a sadistic killer. She gets high out of it. Next is Sergei. He has already got the news and has been sitting behind his desk with a machine gun at his office. It is a 100-story building. Sergei owns it. We see his goons standing everywhere or moving with machine guns. Then comes Sienna at the lobby. She shoots and kills all of them faster than the speed of light, figuratively speaking. But it's quick. She gets in the elevator and clicks a button, 100th floor. It's where Sergei's office is located. The bad guys are waiting for her, pointing their machine guns at the elevator. They look scared, do not want to take chances, and are about to turn her into a spaghetti bowl. The elevator reaches at top floor. The motherfuckers do not even wait for the elevator to open, in panic, begin to fire at the door like hell gone wild. If she is inside, no seraph or cherub will not see the sun rises in Miami and sets in San Francisco. I don't know why I said that. The elevator doors open slowly. Sienna is not there. Where did she go? She comes through the staircase door and kills all of them in a heartbeat. Sergei stands at his office looking at the spectacular view of Los Angeles City. He is still carrying his machine gun. Sienna walks into the office pointing her gun at Sergei. He looks at her. His machine gun is pointed at the floor, which means she is not in danger at the moment. Sienna tosses her gun away. Sergei drops his gun as well. They go at it with breathtaking martial art. Sergei is not your typical vor. He is a dragon slayer. He knows Sambo. But still he can't fuck with Sienna. She breaks him to pieces literally. We can hear his bones making cracking sounds and breaking inside his body. The bones in his hands, legs, ribs and collarbones must be turned into powder by now as she continues to pick him apart. Some of them are sticking out of his body. That motherfucker is still standing on his feet. Sienna hits him with a couple of combinations. She then gets up in the air high, spins 362 degrees and hits him across the face. It's a powerful kick. Sergei is lifted up in the air, his body breaks the glass, exits through the window and falls down from 100-story building and crashes on a car below. We see Sienna standing by the broken window. On the soundtrack, Bring Me to Life continues to play. The wind blows on Sienna's face. She looks as the direction of the camera as if nothing happened. We cut to Sienna as she drives in the street of Los Angeles. Yvonne is next. We are at North Star Club. Boris sits inside a jacuzzi with 4 beautiful Russian girls. It's the main steam room. We see all kinds of Russian gangsters, vor, and mob bosses sitting in jacuzzi with all kinds of beautiful girls, black, Asian, white, Latino, while drinking vodka, martini, whiskeys and all sorts of liquors, smoking weed and doing drugs. It's a unique club. We are never seen anything like it. It's like you go to a club. Instead of dancing floor, you find various jacuzzi, VIP steam rooms and beautiful nude girls without a single drop of clothes. On the soundtrack, music plays. Some of them are dancing. Some of them are doing drug. Some of them are making love, etc. We see bodyguards standing with machine guns. They are making sure their bosses are safe. The roof is made with church-like glasses. Actually it looks like a cathedral without a cross. It's sort of Russian mafia's headquarters where most of them usually love to hang out. Then comes Sienna riding a motorcycle on a top of a taller building across North Star Club, gets up in the air, flies like the wind, fires at the glass roof as she ascends down. Sienna goes through the glass roof and lands safely like Trinity in the Matrix. Yet she is still on her motorcycle. She kills a couple of bodyguards as she rides toward her target between the jacuzzi. They fire at her. She stands on her motorcycle as it continues to move, and she flips in the air, shoots and kills 2 bad guys before her feet lands on the floor. They continues to fire at her. She just lets the bullets pass by her as if they were nothing but slow-moving objects like the Matrix. She kills a couple more guards, stands in front Yvonne and shoots him 4 times between his eyes at close range. His head opens like earthquake. She must have shoot him at pressure point. Blood shoots out of his head like petroleum blowout and rains on the 2 nude Russian girls. They are not screaming or anything. Sienna is wearing a cut fishnet shirt without a bro that shows her belly, and a short with a belt and gun holsters like Angelina Jolie in Lara Croft Tomb Raider. We can see her breasts and nipples in their glory. And they are proactive and prejudice. She looks sexy as hell. The 2 Russian girls look at her and think she is the coolest gal they have seen in their lives. In the meantime, people are running in chaos. The bad guys continue to fire at Sienna. She is not bothered by it. She picks them up one by one as if she is practicing target. She then shoots 5 guards in blink of an eye as she continue to walk toward the exit. Sienna drives in downtown Los Angeles. She plays Call Me When You Sober by Evanescent on her stereo. There is a sword in the passenger seat. Her last target is David. We come to the Staples Center. David is playing hockey alone. He is fast as lightning. He is skating like an alien out of space as if he were wearing shoes that emit fire. Actually, there is a state of grace about it how he glides zero gravity, moving forward and backward as if he were part of the air. We see his bodyguards standing with machine guns throughout the building. The place is empty. Sienna sits in the back with her sword, watching him. Then David stops skating, grabs his sword from the ice floor and gives Sienna a sign. She gets up with her sword, walks down the steps and comes to the ice floor. It's slippery. She is not bothered by the ice. She is wearing a raincoat and a pair of high heels. She removes her coat revealing a beautiful Victoria's Secret linger. Sienna looks like a stripper. David circles her around like a Viking warrior and attacks her. She blocks his sword and attacks him, gliding on the ice with her high heels. They go at it with highly stylish sword fight. She is actually toying with him like Wesley in The Princess's Bride using her right and left hands. Sienna cuts his cheek. David then gives the floor manger a sign to change the floor. A new floor glides out the corner of the building and replaces the ice floor with the beautiful artificial white grass floor. David puts a new pair of shoes. Sienna waits for him. They then resume their sword fight. David is a better sword fighter on a solid ground. But Sienna is not a woman to be trifled with. After they clash their sword a couple of times, Sienna kicks him on the stomach, gets up high, spins in the air, comes down furiously with her sword and slices his face clean. We see it in 3 fast replays. She cuts him just top of his head, half of his eyes, nose, the tips of his tongue and all of his lips, and lets her sword exit down by his chin. David goes down with knees. His face stays on his face for 5 seconds. It then slowly slides down and hits the floor. He falls on his face and dies. Sienna walks toward the exit. David's bodyguards just stand aside and let her leave in peace out of respect. We return back to Junior and Sophia at the beach. Junior has faith on Sienna. He tells her on the phone to bring Beatrix's liver on a plate. He's not a cannibal or anything. But the craving for human flesh is killing him for some reason. He can't wait to have dinner with her. He hasn't eaten anything. He will not eat till she brings him Beatrix's liver raw. Later, Beatrix meets Sienna at Dodger Stadium. They are dressed in kimono. They clash their swords like Japanese warriors that created the island with water and fire fighting gods and demons to their last breaths. It's one of the most breathtaking fight in the history of cinema. The fight is even. However, Sienna makes a mistake coming after Beatrix too strong without a sense of defensive strategy. Beatrix makes her drop her sword. Beatrix has a slight advantage hand-to-hand combat. She drops her sword and challenges her hand-to-hand compact. They exchange couple blows. It is one of the best martial art fights we have ever seen for a while. Kill Bill 3, Part 9. Then Beatrix snatches Sienna's entire throat out of her neck with her right hand. She quickly switches her hand and grabs Sienna on the neck with her left hand, lifts her up from the ground and tosses her up high in the sky as if she were a rag doll. Beatrix spins 382 degrees in the air and kicks her in the face before they return to the ground. Sienna flies in the air, comes down to earth and dies. Beatrix drops Sienna's throat, grabs her sword and walks toward the direction of the camera in close-up looking at the audiences. In Paris, Bibi and Nathan sit outside at a coffee shop enjoying coffee. He tells her he remembers the first time he saw her. He thought she was the most breathtaking girl that he has ever seen in his life. He felt his heart dropping from his lungs down in his belly with a loud stomp like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade when Indy hit the floor with metal in the library in Venice. He founds in his heart the greatest treasure them of all. Beautiful love. She tells him that's romantic. They kiss French. Bibi and Nathan then part their lips and gaze at each eye softly for long seconds. They are having gazing contest. Then out of nowhere comes Elizabeth riding her motorcycle, stops nearby and fires at Bibi and Nathan with a machine gun. Bibi lets the bullets pass by her with amazing reflection and kicks the table in the air and grabs the tea plate and blocks some of the bullets with it. At the same time, she dives in the air, grabs Nathan and hits the floor with him. She covers him from potential lethal bullets, shelling him with her body. It happens in blink of an eye. Elizabeth continues to fire at them. Bibi uses the table to block the bullets. In the meantime, she quickly pulls out her gun and fires at Elizabeth. They exchange fire. Bibi hits Elizabeth in the arm. Elizabeth starts her motorcycle and flees the scene. Bibi checks Nathan to make sure if he is fine. She asks him he is okay. Nathan is not responding. He is shot in the heart. She shakes his lifeless body and tells him to wake up. Nathan is gone. He dies in her arms. There is blood on his mouth. Bibi kisses him on the lips softly and gets up. She sees a man riding a motorcycle in the street. She walks toward the street. There is a car driving behind the motorcycle. Yet it's heaven on earth. Then Bibi spins 361 degrees and hits him on the chest so hard. His body is lifted up in the air and crashes through the car's window behind. His entire body goes through the car and falls in the back seat as if he had just committed the greatest sin of them all without his knowledge. The driver has to pull in the middle of the street. Bibi is riding the motorcycle. She did not even restart it. We do not know how fast she got on the motorcycle. She rips it down the street of Paris passing all kinds of cars. The speedometer shows 260 miles per hour. She is going after Elizabeth. Bibi then sees Elizabeth riding down the street. She increases the speed. Elizabeth sees Bibi in the mirror of her motorcycle. Bibi fires at Elizabeth. The bullet hits the mirror. Elizabeth rides faster passing all sorts of cars with amazing speed. Bibi is right behind her. Elizabeth produces a gun out of nowhere and fires at Bibi. She dodges the bullets and fires at her back as they continues to ride in the street of Paris. One is cursing. One is running for her life. Yet we have never seen anything that is so breathtaking like these two young girls. They just get up in the air and jump over a huge water fountain clean. Bibi is not going to let Elizabeth escape. She killed her sweetheart. Elizabeth doesn't give a fuck. She pulls one of the most amazing moves in the history of cinema. She does a backflip and fires at Bibi after they jump over a truck that is unloading French bread in the middle of the street. Bibi is in the air as well. Yet Bibi instinctively does a front flip and dodge the bullets. They both land safely. Elizabeth continues to run jumping over cars and driving close to 300 miles per hour. Bibi continues to follow her. She is right behind her. They are not going to slow down. A truck that is carrying cargoes cuts Bibi. She gets up in the air and does bike flip between the cargoes. She herself flips in the air like a ninja, gets back on her motorbike while she is in the air, lands safely and continues to follow her. They drive through a fancy restaurants. Elizabeth breaks through the window and exit. Bibi exits through the window as well. In the meantime, they continue to exchange fire in vain. The guns are not finding their targets. They then come to a big shopping mall and ride through the promenade as if they own the mall. There is a fashion show in progress. Elizabeth rides down in the catwalk and exits through the door. Bibi does the same and continues to follow her. They leave the shopping mall, ride down the street and come to Louvre Museum. They drive around the museum. Bibi exits through the second floor window and lands safely. Bibi rides down the staircase, moves down the lobby and exits through the main door. Elizabeth is about to escape riding down by the pyramid. Bibi takes a shortcut, jumps over a water fountain, gets off her motorcycle, flips in the air like a ninja and hits Elizabeth in the chest. Elizabeth falls on her ass. Yet, she sprigs up from the floor as if she is done it 1,000 times a day. Elizabeth grabs her sword from her motorcycle. Bibi produces her antenna sword. She knows she is her sister. Bibi says, "You killed the love of my life. You must die. Wish for a quick death. The longer it takes me, the more you suffer." Elizabeth says, "Fuck you, bitch. I should have fucked him, cut his dick and brought his balls to you." They clash their swords. They are fighting next to the pyramid at the Louvre Museum. They remind us a little bit Kiddo and Ellen Drive. Bibi then makes Elizabeth drop her sword. Bibi throws her sword away and chooses to combat her without a weapon like her mother earlier. Maybe, it is because Elizabeth is her sister. She wants to take it easy on her. We do not know what Bibi is thinking. Yet, they go it with breathtaking kung fu. Punching, blocking and kicking with beautiful martial art. They are fast as light. Bibi hits Elizabeth with a couple of combinations. She throws at her 4-punch and a kick in stomach in a nanosecond. Elizabeth falls on the ground, slowly gets up and attacks Bibi with everything she has. BB blocks the attacks and hits Elizabeth a couple of pressure points with deadly blows. Elizabeth freezes like ice. BB didn't kill her. She just shuts down a couple of senses. Elizabeth stands as if she were a beautiful sculpture made of flesh and blood. BB can put a bullets between Elizabeth's eyes if she wants to. But she chooses to show mercy and walks away, pain deep in her heart. Later, we find Elizabeth at University of Paris Medical Hospital. She is not lying on the bed. She is standing still like a broken robot. She can't talk. She cannot feel anything. She can't taste. She cannot move her legs and arms. She can only move her eyes. Junior is there visiting. He looks at her. He is disappointed. He can't believe what BB did to his star and favorite sister. Elizabeth looks like a beautiful dummy that they put in the shopping center. Junior then touches a couple of pressure point on her body like a Shaolin monk who mastered the art of Tai Chi and undo some of the damage's nerve. She can move her hands and feet. But she cannot talk and taste food. Few hours later, Elizabeth sits on the hospital bed. Ellen is there. She tries to feed her. Elizabeth cannot taste the food. She spits it out, takes the plate from her mother's hand and throws it against the wall in frustration. Ellen calls Sophie and tells her what BB does to her daughter. Sophie tells her she will take care of it and wishes Elizabeth speed recovery. In the other hand, BB is sad. She looks at Nathan's body at the morgue for the last time and leaves the building. She gets in her rental convertible and drives in the streets of Paris. On the soundtrack, love story Taylor Swift plays. BB is crying. Then out of nowhere come 6 motorcycle and follow BB. The music on the soundtrack falls in the background and would fade away. She sees them in rear-view mirror and drives faster, passing all kinds of car in front of her with breathtaking speed. The speedometer shows 150 miles per hour going 170 miles per hour. They quickly catch up with her and fire at her. She increases the speed, hitting 200 miles per hour easily. They are right behind with her. BB grabs her gun and fires at them without looking. A bullet hits a bad guy and takes him out. BB then slows down just a little bit and lets a motorcycle get near. She shoots another bad guy in the face and takes him out. The remaining 4 motorcycles fire at her. She drives faster. They continue to follow her, shooting. She drives the fastest. Yet they are right behind, firing at her. BB places her right shoe on the gas pedal supported by the floor, turns around, and places her knees on the seat and fires at the bad guys. She hits 2 more bad guys and takes them out. The remaining 2 bad guys ride dexterously, dodge the bullets and fire at her. BB quickly spins around and grabs the wheel, puts her shoes back on and continues to drive down the street of Paris. It is one of the sexiest moves in cinema. BB then looks at the remaining 2 bad guys. They blink the light on and off. It's a code. It means something. She switches on her emergency lights, puts her gun on her lap, stops the car in the middle of the street and places her hands up. She is surrendering. She is just telling them she doesn't have nothing on her hands. The 2 motorcycle ride, pass her, turn around and stop in front of her. BB gets out her car and approaches them. They all understand this is going to be a fight. They remove their helmets and jackets, throw them away and approach her. They are cut like hell. They are Dutch martial artists. BB looks at them and thinks these guys might give her problem. They start combating. They are amazing fighters. They attack her with everything they have. BB blocks their punches and kicks, gets up in the air, spins and kicks both of them at the same time before her feet return to the ground. They are fighting in the middle of the street. People stop their cars and watch them in awe. Orange Man and the Flying Dutch collect themselves and come after her. They are quick and unpredictable. They catch her off guard. They hit her a couple of times. There is blood on her lips. She touches the blood and tastes it like Bruce Lee. Yet, she doesn't spit it out, instead swallows it. They come after her. She blocks their punches and kicks, hits both of them at pressure points. They stand frozen like 2 broken windmills. They cannot move. Blood is coming out of their ears, noses, eyes and mouths like Red Dragon starring Jet Li. Out of nowhere comes 2 cops, point their guns at her and tell her to freeze. BB kicks their guns toward the sky in a blink of an eye, spins in the air and hits them in the heads while their guns are still in the atmosphere. The cops fall unconscious. BB holds the guns before they touch the ground. She then shoots the 2 Dutchmen in their heads without looking at them as she walks toward her car. Their heads explode at the spot and blood shoot out of their skulls like water fountains. The people take out their cell phone and capture the moment as if it were one of the greatest show on earth. BB gets in her convertible and drives away. BB flies to the USA and comes to her mother's new beach house in Malibu. BB and Beatrix sit on the sand in a beautiful early twilight. On the soundtrack, music plays. BB mourns from Nathan's death. She is crying. Beatrix tries to comfort her. BB buries her head on her mother's chest and continues to cry like a little girl. We come to Junior's house. Junior and Sadie are practicing martial art. On the soundtrack, Push It's All 10 Pipa plays. They are going at it with amazing kung fu. Sadie is wearing a beautiful Victoria's Secret linger. She is beating the hell out of him. Junior allows her to hit him in purpose. He then hits her back with breathtaking martial art. Junior has a lot of style. But he is also crazy. Junior grabs her hair and puts it in a water fountain. Sadie cannot breathe. She is about to die. He pulls her out and kisses her lips. She kisses him. They kiss French lasciviously. Sadie seductively slips his lips, headbutts him in the nose, punches him on the stomach and kicks his head in blink of an eye. Junior slaps her hard with the back of his hand and kisses her. She kisses him. They are making out while fighting. It's one of the weirdest things we have ever seen in films. It's also extremely sexual somehow. Junior comes behind, caresses her neck, puts his hand in her underwear, and fingers her. He rips her underwear and throws it away. She turns around and kisses him hungrily. He pulls her hair, turns her back and fingers her more while caressing her neck. She breathes in and out deeply in orgasm making sexual sound. Junior then squeezes her vagina hard and then pulls out bunch of hair. She screams like a bitch, spins in the air and kicks him across the face. Junior falls down on the ground. He gets up and cleans the blood from his nose. Sadie approaches him. They kiss French. Junior still has her blonde pubic hair on his hand. He pulls her hair and breaks the kiss. Junior then blows the pubic hair on her face and sidekicks her on the stomach violently. She flies on the air and falls on her ass. She spits blood. Sadie gets up and comes after him with everything she got. Junior blocks all her punches and kicks as if he was fighting with a crazy prostitute. He then holds her hair. They kiss passionately. He picks her up and carries her as if they were the greatest lover in the world. They continue to kiss covered with blood and bruises. There is a mattress on the floor that is placed on the ground nearby for the sole purpose of the love scene. Junior brings her to the bed and places her on the mattress. He rips her clothes, removes all of his clothes, gets between her legs and kisses her lips. They kiss more intimately. Junior then enters her as they begin to have sex. On the soundtrack, Push It Salt and Pipa plays music plays. Junior is hitting it with crazy speed. We can hear Sadie then gets on top of Junior, rides him cowgirl style savagely like a madwoman, speaking in tongues. There is bruise on her face from the fighting. It makes her look exotic. Junior then rolls her over, changes position and enters her behind with crazy speed like a porn star. On the soundtrack, Push It continues to play. We stay with them for a bit. We then cut to Beatrix's beach house in Malibu. Bibi and Beatrix sit in the sofa covered with blanket and watch kung fu film while eating popcorn. Beatrix tells her that she broke up with Kevin. She doesn't want anything to happen to him. Bibi asks her if she loves him. Beatrix tells her she has never felt the happiest in her life when she is with him. That's why she has to stay away from him. I don't want them to kill him in the account of me. Bibi tells her don't let anyone to tell you how to live your life or intimidate you. It's your life. You are not going to get another shot at it. You have to go out and live your life when she to the fullest. If you are in love with him, you should be with him. Beatrix tells her I just need time to collect myself. Junior is like his father. He is unpredictable. She pauses in the middle of her sentence. She then says, he is your brother. Beatrix is about to say something but chooses to remain quiet. Bibi reads her minds. I know he is my brother. But you're my mother. If he's going to touch you or interfere with your pursuit of love and happiness, I will kill him myself. Beatrix tells her. I still regret killing Bill. I do not want to make the same mistake. Junior might be a mad cat. But as crazy as it sounds, deep down inside me I am happy that he is out there living. I gave up on love long time ago. I gave up on happiness. I even gave up on sex. I had to move all over the places and adapt new culture. That part is fun. You then grew up fast. I had to let you go on your own. But it's hard. I cannot help worrying about you day and night. I just kept feeling empty. I then met Kevin. I was just beginning to feel like a human being and understand the value of love. They find me. I had to let him go for the sake of his safety and his daughter. I guess I am used to it. My motto should be scarification. Humorously, I might have to get a tattoo of that on my buttock. They laugh it out. We might have to go back and fix few things like should Kevin have a daughter from the previous relationship? It just came to my head. If it doesn't work, we will edit it. The more drama you add, the more dimensions you give the film, because Beatrix won't back down for anyone. If she wants something, she will have it. But if there is a daughter involved in the mix, her paternal instinct kicks in and creates conscious. Conscious can be pain in the ass. However, Bibi reminds her if you do not go back and talk to Kevin, I won't speak to you anymore. You are not my mother but a coward who lets wimps tells her how to run her lives. Beatrix tells her she will go to his house tomorrow and apologize, but she will not understand the meaning of worrying, which should not be confused with fear, till she has her own daughter and feel a bite on her nipple. BB tells her, I might not understand what is in her mind now, but you are the best mother ever. Beatrix tells her thanks. BB then gets up and tells Beatrix that she has to go to Federal Bureau and take care of few things, might have to get her stuffs from her office and have few words with her boss. Beatrix tells her it's almost 6 a.m. in the morning. Do you still work for FBI? I thought you quit. BB tells her I didn't quit yet. I just went to honeymoon without telling them. Thanks for leading me the money. I will pay you soon or later. Beatrix tells her I live and breathe for you. I am not going to bury with all that money. You have to spend as much as you can. Everything is in your name. If anything happens to you, I will not forgive myself. I am proud of you. BB just says, I love you. I will see you later. Bye, and leaves the house. She gets in her car and drives to FBI. We return back at Junior's palace. Junior and Sadie sit in the jacuzzi outside in a beautiful garden. Sadie, who is resting on Junior's chest, tells him she can't wait to kill BB. I want to kill your little sister and be your sister, your mother, your lover, your best friend and your enemy. They kiss French with a lot of tongues. Junior parts his lips and tells her BB is the beat of my heart. I'll deal with her personally. Instead I want you to take care of her mother. They kiss more lasciviously. At the FBI headquarters, BB finds Nikki at the parking lot singing and dancing seductively with I Like to Know by Joe while grinding her butt on her new boyfriend's groin. His name is Jim. He is touching her all over her body sexually while kissing her lips. Jim is not wearing t-shirt. He must be a football player or a bodybuilder. He has a bow and arrows on the hood of his car and a sword on the floor. BB knows there is going to be a fight. But she waits till they finish dancing. The fucker grabs his bow and an arrow and shoot at her in a blink of an eye, without warning. BB just grabs the arrow as if it was shot by Cupid in slow motion and breaks it in half. Jim grabs his swords, comes after her and attacks her. BB makes him miss, moving like a ballerina. She takes out her antenna sword out of nowhere, blocks his attacks and goes offense naturally. He blocks BB's attacks. They go at it, crashing their swords. Nikki continues to dance with I Like to Know while singing. She is not really paying attention on the fight. She knows BB is going to take him out. She's getting her groove on. Nikki then goes to her convertible while singing and dancing. She grabs a tennis bag and removes her clothes and puts on a sexy black fighting cloth as BB and Jim continue to go at it like a princess meets Dark Vader. He is attacking her like Japanese evil curse. BB easily blocks Jim's attack, makes him drop his sword, and cuts his chest in square, digs deep into his skin with her bare fingers and snatches out his skin with a lot of meat, revealing his cardiovascular. We see his heart beating inside his body. Jim is still alive. He doesn't know what's happening to him. BB then grabs his bow and an arrow and shoots it. The arrow sticks in his heart. It is romantic. He falls flat on his face and dies at the spot. Nikki is a little bit impressed. She claps her hands and tells her it is not bad. BB and Nikki set to fight. Nikki is holding a nunchaku. She spins it like Bruce Lee. BB is a little bit amazed. But Nikki knows she's not going to fight BB with that. She is just showing off. Bitch, it's your turn. Let me see what you can do with nunchaku. She throws the weapon to BB in the air. BB grabs it, drops her sword and spins the nunchaku better than Bruce Lee. Nikki is mesmerized. BB throws the nunchaku back to Nikki with style and picks up her antenna from the ground. Not to be outdone, Nikki spins the nunchaku as if it's part of the air. She is pretty good. She then throws it away and grabs her sword. Nikki tells her it's Green Destiny. It's the same sword that's used in Crouching Tiger and Hidden Dragon, starring Chow Yun-fat, Michelle Yeoh and Zhang Ziyi. She then says I am fucking with you. It's not Green Destiny but an old Japanese fool made it for me. Your mother killed my mother. I saw her with own my eyes pulling a dagger out of her chest. I don't want to kill your mother. Instead I am going to murder someone that she loves dearly. Unfortunately, that person happens to be you. It's a brand new revenge. You can call it fashion or bullshit. If you kill the person who commit the crime, she or he would go to heaven and meet their creator. They will be forgiven, because revenge is not part of the game. Is going out of style. Maybe it will never go out of style. But that's according to ancient philosophy of some jungle people in the East, which neither I agree with nor give a damn. But I do not want to take a chance. They say everything will be forgotten. Let bygone be bygone. However, if you take someone they love, they would suffer a lot. Death will come to all of us. Besides, I couldn't find that whore mother of yours. She is a snake. My mother would be happy with you, or maybe I will kill you and find the bitch wherever she is hiding and kill her too and make my mother proud of me. But Benita is a major bitch. She will never satisfied till I cut your mother's head off, throw it the lava in hell, then removes her heart from her body and feed it to the hyenas in Africa. BB tells her, "Bring it on, bitch. I am ready." Out of nowhere BB produces a sharp needle-like knife and throws it at Nikki. She quickly blocks it with her sword and attacks BB with fury and wrath. BB just blocks Nikki's sword attacks and goes on offense. It is one of the best sword fights in cinema. BB has a lot of finesse. She looks supernatural with the swords flying on the air, defensing and attacking. Nikki is elegant as well. She can easily blend with the air defensing and comes strong with explosive attack like the manifestation of evil. The fight is even. They agree to drop their swords and fight with their bare hands. On the soundtrack, Outkast sing "She Is a Bad Mama Jamma" original song by Carl Carlton. Yet on the cover, they sing "She Is a Bad Motherfucker." BB and Nikki fight to death. BB spins in the air, kicks Nikki on the head and drops her on her ass. Nikki gets up and returns the favor. She kicks BB on the stomach and adds a couple of combination. BB blocks some of the kicks and begins to pick Nikki apart. Yet Nikki holds her ground. They are both covered with blood. BB doesn't want to kill Nikki. She is her best friend. She has a lot of respect for her. In quick flashback, we see BB and Nikki at FBI graduation party. They have few drinks. There is karaoke. They grab mics and sing "Shower" by Becky G together without looking at the lyrics. We returns from flashback. They are both out of breath. They don't want to fight anymore. BB has a chance to finish her but keep holding back. Nikki says, "Why not call it off? I know you are taking it easy on me. But let's not make a big deal out of it. I don't feel like killing you or dying. We will do it some other time." She gives her hand to shake. BB takes it. They hug it out and walk toward the direction of the camera. Nikki tells her, "You are a bad motherfucker. I have never seen anybody fight like you. It is insane. Come on. Let's get something to eat." BB says, "I'll take my car." Nikki says, "I will ride with you." BB gets behind the wheel. Nikki takes the passenger seat. BB starts the car, plays "Shower" by Becky G and they get on the street and drive in the street of Los Angeles while singing. We cut to Beatrix as she cooks at her house in Malibu. She calls Kevin. He is not picking up the phone. Then out of nowhere comes 30 Ninja and attacks Beatrix. She quickly grabs her sword and cuts all of them into pieces like she did in Kill Bill Volume 1. They all lie dead. Then out of nowhere comes Sadie and hits Beatrix, who is standing next to the window holding her sword, on the chest with a flying spin kick. Beatrix breaks the glass, goes through the window and falls outside. Sadie exits the house, grabs a bag stained with blood and her sword and approaches Beatrix who is lying on the sand outside. Beatrix collects her strength and gets up with her sword. Sadie pulls out Nathan's severed head from the bag. "I bought you a present." She throws it toward Beatrix. It rolls on the ground and stops at Beatrix's feet. Beatrix is extremely upset. She knows she is going to kill this bitch a violent death. She has already envisioned it. But it's not going to be easy. Sadie is as good as Beatrix. She is the equivalent of herself but crazy as Ellen Drive. One of the best fighter in the solar system. She is faster than anything we have ever seen. Beatrix and Sadie clash their swords. They are two of the greatest samurai warriors. They are like goddess in the heavens fighting with fire. They are mad. There is lightning and thunderstorm on the sky. It begins to rain. Sadie is going after Beatrix with everything she has. Yet Beatrix is mad as hell and vow in soul she must murder the bitch. However, she has to be patient. She can't let sore emotion get the best of her. She has to control her anger and combat her with the mind. She can't offer to make a mistake against Sadie. She is the manifestation of death in the purest form. Yet, Beatrix can't help it. She just attacks her in absolute madness without a sense of strategy. Her sword flies out of her hand and falls on the ground. Sadie has now advantage. She is going for the kill. She comes flying in the air and goes for Beatrix's neck to sever it off. Out of nowhere, Beatrix takes out her knife and blocks Sadie's sword just inches to her vein. It is sword vs knife. They go at it clashing their weapons. Amazingly, Beatrix holds her ground. Yet, Sadie wouldn't allow her to pick up her sword. Beatrix continues to combat her with knife. Sadie finally realizes Beatrix is fighting her with knife and says to herself what is coming to the world. Sadie cuts Beatrix's arm drawing blood. She slices her back drawing more blood. She cuts the side of her belly and cheek. Sadie is cutting her alive piece by piece. Beatrix looks defenseless. Sadie cuts her thigh. Beatrix is losing a lot of blood. Sadie tells her, "I enjoyed severing your boyfriend's head. I urinated on his face right before I cut his head off. I am going to do the same thing to you. I had a Heineken right before I walked into your house. I doubt it has any alcohol. But my piss has a lot of acid. It will burn the cut on your face. You won't feel no pain when I cut your head. Lucky for you." Beatrix is barely hanging on. However, mystical force enters her soul. She gathers all strength and closes her eyes in meditation. Sadie comes to finish her and swings at her. Beatrix opens her eyes and dodges the sword, kicks the sword from Sadie's hand and stabs her in the left breast. We are witnessing a miracle. Yet Sadie feels no pain despite the fact knife is buried in her breast and she is bleeding like a pig. Sadie holds Beatrix's hand and tries to push her. Beatrix headbutts her on the face, kicks her on the stomach, comes flying right back, stabs her in the left breast again and holds on the knife inside Sadie's body. Sadie punches Beatrix on the face and pushes her hand to free herself. Beatrix holds it harder. Sadie is strong. She pulls Beatrix's hand with ever muscles in her arms. We see the knife slowly exiting out of Sadie's breast. Sadie gets up in the air, kicks Beatrix on the chest with her both legs and free herself completely. They exchange a couple of blows with amazing martial art. Beatrix then stabs Sadie in the neck, holds it the hardest and says, "I am sending you to hell, bitch. I will come down there and spend the rest of my eternal life watching you burn to crisp." Surprisingly, Sadie is still on her feet as if she were stung with bee. She says, "Fuck you, whore," and punches Beatrix on the stomach. Yet Beatrix holds the knife deep inside Sadie's neck. She is not going to let her go this time. She has her where she wants her. Beatrix then continues to stab her multiple times in the neck like evil spirit. Sadie's blood sprouts out of her vein and covers Beatrix's face in pure horror. Sadie falls on the ground. She is still alive. Beatrix sits on Sadie and begins to stab her in the face multiple times. It's like Bruce Lee in The Big Boss when punches the boss on the face at the end, except Beatrix is not punching her with her fist. She is jabbing Sadie's face with a knife like a madwoman. She lost it. Sadie's blood continued to splatter on Beatrix's face. Sadie is completely disfigured. They cannot give her an open cascade burial. There won't be any funeral service. Beatrix continues to stab her. She then drops the knife and begins to punch her disfigured face till her Beatrix continues to pounding her face. More blood splatters on her face. When we think she is going to stop, she continues to punch her. Beatrix finally collapses on Sadie's dead body, rolls over and lies next to her disfigured face. Blood continues to leave from Sadie's face like. Some of the blood jumps out face like volcano eruption. It's one of the most graphic scenes in the history of cinema. Yet it is romantic. They look like lovers in hell, lying next to each other. On the soundtrack, we take it with overhead shot and leaves the scene. We come to an abundant building that Nikki owns. It's a 50-story building. Bibi and Nikki are at top floor sitting at the coffee table with hamburger and french fries and sodas while watching a martial art film, Iron Monkey. Nikki then changes the channel and puts it on the surveillance camera. We see hundreds of mercenaries wearing SWAT uniform and carrying machine guns moving throughout the building as if they are invading a country. Nikki tells Bibi she calls them to see how good she is. She also invites Colombian and Mexican drug lords, assassins, Italian mobsters, Chinese gangsters, Eastern European and Russian mafia solders, Chinese gangsters, Black Furious Panthers hit squad and Japanese samurais and ninjas. Sophie herself is outside. She is in charge of the mission. She is willing to pay $1 billion whoever kills Bibi. The bad guys are not only motivated by revenge but they are also impelled by greed as well. Bibi is not sure if she is going to come out of alive from this. Yet, Nikki says she will help her combat them. She brings Bibi to a room where she keeps treasure and shows her all kinds of modern guns and sparking swords. Nikki grabs a machine gun and tells Bibi this is Back 340. It is capable of shooting 100 bullets without changing the ammunition and lights as a pistol. She throws the gun to Bibi. She catches it. She looks at the surveillance cameras. The entire assassins in the world are out there. They are close to 500. She might need a couple more guns. Bibi grabs a couple of guns and a sword and puts it in a school bag. So does Nikki. She grabs modern guns and a sparkling sword. In the surveillance camera the bad guys continue to move throughout the building. They are closing on them. Bibi and Nikki step out the gun room and run into a couple of bad guys, about 25. They shoot and kill all of them with breathtaking action sequence. This is just beginning. I might have to take my time and work on it. I have the picture in my mind. Forget Jean-Claude Van Damme, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Jet Li, Bruce Willis, and every action movie ever made. Bibi and Nikki are slaughtering them mercilessly as if they were demons in hell. It is Judgment Day. Bibi is like Neo in the Matrix, the closest thing I could think of. She is fast, barbarous and the deadest ever. She sees the bullets coming at her direction, lets them pass by her or dodges them easily and shoots 10 bad guys in 3 seconds with breathtaking speed. She shoots them in the faces, cut their throats with her knife, slices them into pieces with her sword or hit them with deadly martial art ever seen in cinema. Some of the bad guys are shaking, just looking at Bibi's eyes. Her face is covered with blood. Her white dresses has turned into red. She has a couple of cuts and gunshot wounds. But they are not life-threatening. She continues to kill the bad guys with amazing martial art as well as sword, knife, and guns. The building is flooded with the bad guys' blood. In the meantime, Nikki is a different creature. She is pure evil. She is savage and the living manifestation of darkness. She just shoots a bad guy in the face 10 times while about 20 bad guys kicking her and beating her with police sticks. She then shoots all of them in the groins. When they hold their private parts, Nikki shoots some of them in top of their heads. She spins in the air and kicks others on the face almost at the speed of light while spinning. They all fall down and die. BB and Nikki continue to eradicate the bad guys going to one building after another as they head toward the exit. Each floor the bad guys are waiting for them to take them out. Sometimes, BB and Nikki appear out of nowhere and kill the bad guys as if they were aliens who came to invade Earth. Then 3 helicopter comes and fire at BB. She hides on a pillar. The bad guys in the helicopters continue to fire hell of bullets at her. It is not going to hold for long. BB comes out of the hide, fires at all 3 helicopters. She hits the bad guys, who are firing at her, as well as the pilots in the first 2 helicopters. She shot them in the faces. The 2 helicopters spin in the air, crash on the ground and set on fire. BB fires at the pilot in the 3rd helicopter. He is hit in the shoulder, he tries to fly away. BB fires at the gas tank multiple times. The helicopter explodes in the midair. We are outside. Nikki just kills 10 guys shooting and breaking their neck with amazing martial art. She is shot in the chest. Yet she continues to kill the bad guys firing and using deadly martial art. She is hit in the belly. She is not dead. But that is it for her. She goes down and lie on the ground. She spits blood. A bad guy stands in front of her, points his gun at her and tells her sweet dream mamacita. He is about to shoot her in the face. Out of nowhere comes BB breaking the window and kicks the guy on the face, spins around and shoots him balls with a shotgun. He flies in the air. She then blow off his face while he is in the air with amazing speed. It happened in a blink of an eye. BB makes sure Nikki is alright. She tells her she will be fine. In the meantime, there are few bad guys left. They fire at BB. She lets the bullets passes by her and goes after them. She shoots and kills all of them including Sophie. BB returns to Nikki, who is shot in the belly, and asks her if she needs to go to the hospital. Nikki tells her, I will drive myself to hospital and just go check your mother. BB helps Nikki get in Sophie's luxurious car and lets her drive herself to hospital. BB then gets in her convertible and drives to her mother's house in Malibu. She parks her car in front of the house, gets out and runs to her mother. She finds Beatrix lying on the ground. She is unconscious. She has lost a lot of blood. BB carries her mother, puts her in the car and takes her to the nearest hospital. The doctors rushes to her rescue. They tell BB she needs a medical attention herself as well. She is covered with blood. There are a couple of bullets inside of her body and cuts on her skins. A doctor removes the bullets out of BB's body and sews the cuts on her skin. In the meantime, the doctors and surgeons give Beatrix blood transfusion and perform all kinds of surgeries on her. She has major organs damage from the cuts. In the other hand, BB recovers right away as if she got a fight with a couple of street kids. There are cuts on her face and bullet holes in her body. She ignores the pain. She even refuses to change her clothes. BB wants to know how her mother is doing. A doctor tells her Beatrix is going to be fine. She needs to rest. BB asks him if she is in coma. He tells her she is in deep sleep. It's a polite way to say she is in unconscious. BB is furious. She can't wait to kill Junior. She gets in car without changing her cloth. She is wearing the same dress stained with blood. BB gets in her convertible and drives to Junior's house. She parks the car next to the house, gets out the car with her mother's sword, jumps over the gate like Bruce Lee in The Big Boss, kills all the guards with breathtaking martial art and comes after Junior. He is practicing kung fu alone. He looks at her and says sarcastically, "You come to kill your favorite brother." She tells him, "You're not my brother. I don't know you. As far as I'm concerned, you are nothing but a cunt." They have an epic fight. They start out with their swords, clashing steels as if they were the daughter and the son of goddesses and gods while flying in the air and doing all kinds of acrobats. They then drop their swords and go at it with pure martial art. BB is the best fighter in the history of martial art. Junior is the king. They are fast. BB is invincible. She hits Junior in his entire spine line and a couple of pressure point on his head with one of the deadliest blows in all martial arts. Junior Jr. starts shaking violently as if he just came out of the iciest part of hell. He can't help it. She confused his entire nerve system. It is more powerful than the 5-palm exploding technique. His arms and legs are moving involuntarily. His arms are swinging and hitting his own face, his legs are kicking violently like a wild horse while his entire body shaking as if he is inside a brand new refrigerator 1000 below zero. It's one of the funniest things we have ever seen in films. At the same time, it's one of the most violent. His tongue is hanging out of his mouth like a dead person. His teeth are crashing his tongue and gnashing. If he continues to grate, his tongue might fall off. His head is also shaking like a madman who spent most of his life in a mental institution. BB just turns around and walks away. Junior falls on the ground and holds head in great pain as he continues to shake. BB gets in her convertible and drives back to the hospital and waits for her mother to come out of sleeping. Beatrix wakes up in the morning and sees BB, who is sitting in a chair. They hug affectionately. Later, the doctors clear Beatrix. BB and Beatrix leave the hospital and gets in BB's convertible and drives away. They place roses on Kevin and Nathan graves. We then find them in South France walking in the beach little bit past afternoon while sun is still in its splendor. The end.